right. We are live and in Technicolor. Wow. I should say we are in Technicolor as well. It's Wrestling with the 80s here for our first live stream ever. And I couldn't ask for a better guest than my friend, my compadre, my fellow lover of 80s wrestling, Ted the Hillbilly Heel from Ted's Takes on Wrestling. Ted, how you doing tonight?
Doing good. Ready to watch some old school wrestling.
Well, you know, and we picked a good one. We picked the Thanksgiving special, you know, the Starrcade 85. It's the tradition. Do you remember what you were doing in 1985 when this first happened?
85. I was 14, so probably wherever my parents had me. Probably at grandma's for Thanksgiving, probably.
Where your parents had you?
Trying to get away, trying to sneak away, probably, but you know.
When's the last time you watched this?
It's been a long time. I did sometime last year. I did go down, not give any spoilers, but it was down a rabbit hole, and I did recheck out some clips of Abdullah and Manny Fernandez. Okay.
All right. That's good. So yeah, we're going to do a watch along now, of course, because of the fact that the WWE would probably come and kick my door in. I'm not able to show the video of the event, but what we're going to do is we're going to sync our watching on Peacock. So if you're looking to see this event, it's going to be on the Peacock app. So we'll do the countdown for the timer for it, and we'll basically give the go ahead when to press go, and we're going to chat about this event as we go through. I ask everybody, feel free to join into the chat. I see we've already got some folks in there already. Let's see, who do we have coming up on here? We've got a real hot soul sent in a comment. Looking forward to this. That's great. I'm looking forward to interacting with you as well. We also have looks like Coach Mark, Coach, thanks for keeping older wrestling alive. Well, you're welcome, Coach, and thanks for joining us. I think this is the first time that we've gotten to interact, but this is awesome. Thanks, and appreciate you coming by, and much appreciated. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to all my American friends. I'm in Nova Scotia, Canada, so our Thanksgiving already passed by in October, but I know this is a huge time of the year for the American folks here, so happy Thanksgiving to y'all. Do you have any big plans for Thanksgiving, Ted?
Just my daughter-in-law, her family has moved down in the past year from New Jersey, and they wanted to host it this year, so we're all going over there. And but I fixed the turkey. I'm taking the turkey because that's my thing. I've been doing a turkey since almost 20 years now. That's my thing. I do the turkey. So
okay. Well, nothing wrong with that, my friend.
Hey, I got a question, and not to be rude or insensitive or cultural ignorant, but like, you know, we've got our Thanksgiving story, Plymouth Rock, the Indians, the Pilgrims, and all that. What happened? What's your all story?
Same idea, right? We had. Sorry, my mic just went muted on me there. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Same idea. You know, we celebrate just at a different time of year, right? It'd be Columbus Day. It'd be the equivalent of Columbus Day for you guys, right? Because I think that's October. So it's when Christopher Columbus came and discovered, you know, North America. So they say. Yeah. I don't know.
Why don't we celebrate when the Vikings came? Okay, why are we not doing that? You know.
Well, technically, I think in Newfoundland they have Leif Erikson Day, so you know, there you go.
Do they have Adam Copeland Day? He played a Viking on that show.
Adam Copeland Day would be a good one, actually. So, yeah, maybe we should.
I mean, you know, he's Canadian, and he was on Trailer Park Boys, all that kind of stuff, and they animated one. So, you know.
Oh yeah. That guy is as Canadian can be, right?
Right. So, you know.
Okay, before we get going on things, like I say, you'll have to bear with us. This is, like I say, live stream number 1. It's going to be a long one because obviously we're going to be going through the pay-per-view. So hopefully folks will stick around and join and hang out with us. But you're welcome to come in and out and whenever you want to. Before we get going though, Ted, I wanted to talk about somebody who's very important actually to this pay-per-view and who doesn't always get a credit for the Mount Rushmore of announcers, but we just lost him recently. I believe it was November 16th, if I'm not mistaken. But Bob Caudle just passed away on November 16th. He was, so he was 95, I believe, or 94. Yeah, just crazy that he's he's been around for so long and was such an important voice to Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling and to the NWA. And, obviously he's, a big part of this pay-per-view as well. So thoughts on Bob Caudle, Ted? I know probably a very, very big voice for you as a wrestling fan growing up.
Yeah, I mean, that was it. Before we got TBS and the Superstation, we did have Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling. So every Saturday at noon, I invited Bob Caudle into my living room. We were, watching that. And then, when we did finally get the Superstation in Georgia, it was Gordon Soley. So those were the two fellas that, that I relied on because, Bob Caudle would just, he was just such a great straight man. He just came at him and, and I remember, I think finally, maybe a couple of years ago, WWE finally maybe put him in the Hall of Fame.
Right.
But before that, I remember when Tony Schiavone had first started his podcast and he was asked, would you go to the WWE Hall of Fame if they ask you? And he said, no. He said, there's no way I would go in before Bob Caudle. Because he said, if anyone deserves to be in there, it's Bob Caudle.
Right. Yeah. That makes complete sense, to be quite honest with you. I mean, obviously having the ability to go back and watch all this stuff. I wasn't watching the early years of the NWA and Mid-Atlantic live, but going back and just hearing the different voices. I know everybody attributes Gordon Soley and Jim Ross because they had that, exciting announcing style and just, this exuberant style and they came up with all these different terms, but there was something just nice and steady and comforting and warm about Bob Caudle's voice and just, just the way he did things. And he brought an air of authority to the announcing, I don't necessarily get that feeling anymore with announcers like that guy that's in control all the time. Yeah. You know what I mean? You don't touch that announcer. They're a part of the program, but they're not really, going to be used as a prop in the program, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Definitely. And he was just, he's just such a fixture for it. And I mean, we're going to talk about probably one of my favorite matches of all time, the Magnum T Tully Blanchard I Quit match. And he was an important part of it. Like, just especially at the end when we're talking about, spoiler alert, where Tully gets the piece of chair and just his excitement level for that. When he got excited, you knew there was something going on, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Sure. All right. Well, like I said, I just wanted to acknowledge Bob Caudle because, again, just an important piece of wrestling history there. And the other amazing thing that I just found out from listening to Jim Cornette's podcast, his wife had just passed away this year. They've been married for 76 years.
Yeah.
Isn't that something else?
Oh, yeah.
Unreal. All right. So, Ted, you want to get this going? Are you ready to get flying on this one?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So what we're going to do, and we'll see if this goes well. Again, like I say, I cannot, give the whole the screen to the video part. But what we're going to do is we're going to sync it. So we're starting right at 0 for Peacock. So hopefully you've had a chance to go load it up right now. Yep. The pay-per-view is 2 hours and 53 minutes and 20 seconds long. We're going to count down 3, 2, 1, and then I'll say play, and then we'll click it at the same time. Okay. And you
That
might hear
sounds good.
some background noise from the audio. Hopefully that doesn't cause any problems for us. But and we'll just chat it out as we're going through in our memories. So I think there's a little bit of delay, obviously, for the folks that are watching at home. So it might be a couple seconds off, but not too bad, to be quite honest. So you ready?
Ready.
Let's get her going then. 3, 2, 1, play.
There's the fireworks.
There's the fireworks. Yeah. And oh yeah, the gathering. We got to remember that, right?
Yeah, the gathering.
One of Dusty's creations, I'm assuming that name.
Yeah. I thought probably so.
The famous disco ball as well. And speaking
There's
of
Bob Cole and Tony Schiavone.
Yeah.
I mean, besides Tony Schiavone's cheeks getting a little chubbier, he really don't look much different.
Not a big difference, is it? You know, good on him. So this would have took place on November 28th of 1985. So we're pretty close to being smack on for 40 years ago.
Yeah.
So November 28th, and this was at the it was a double arena actually, because it was Greensboro.
They did the double.
Yeah. So it was Greensboro, and it was
the Omni.
The Omni, was it? Yes.
I think it's the Omni.
Johnny Weaver. What were your thoughts on Johnny Weaver, Ted? Were you a big fan?
He was okay. Sometimes he could get on my nerves. Sometimes, just to be honest. But I know the people back in the day, because, he was wrestling before I'd even start watching. Everybody loved Johnny Weaver, from what I understand, in the Carolinas and stuff.
Yeah, he was. He had actually wrestled up here in Atlantic, Canada. A little bit there with the Grand Prix wrestling, the international wrestling. So he was a well-known name in this area. It was before my time, to be quite honest, as a wrestling fan. So my familiarity with Johnny Weaver was as a wrestling announcer.
Well, now, you don't have to quote me on this. I can't remember exactly, but I remember one time looking on Cage Match, and again going down a rabbit hole, and for some reason Johnny Weaver had like almost as many matches, or maybe even more than Ric Flair did. It was like in the thousands. Yeah, he had a lot of matches.
Wow.
And I might be completely wrong. I might have completely made that up, but I don't think I did.
It sounds good. It sounds good if you did.
Yeah. Somebody fact check me in the comments there.
Yeah. What do we got? Tom Miller on the ring announcing here? Dr. Tom Miller, right?
Yeah. And see, the thing about Tom Miller, he was on one of the, the local stations. Okay. So for him, when he did wrestling, it brought credibility to it, because people that had, heard him on the radio, saw him on TV, on commercials, local commercials. It was like, if Tom is there, this stuff must be legit.
Oh, okay. All right. We've got the national anthem going on.
Yeah. Now, I had a button-up shirt just like that guy that's got the hat over his heart there.
I think everybody in 1985 had that, right?
Yeah.
I love seeing the old ladies in the crowd. Isn't that great?
Yeah, he's showing Grandma. Grandma, the flag's up there, honey. Look.
I mean, hey, I got to thank my grandma for getting me into wrestling.
Oh, so. Yeah. Yeah, that's where I first saw it at.
The grandmas are the gateway drug to wrestling.
They were.
That was Ric Flair's lady for the night there.
But yeah.
Is it sacrilege that we're speaking during the anthem?
I don't think so. I think we're okay this time. But again, by doing this, you make it feel like a real sporting event, like boxing, baseball, football.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. I agree. And it's not some, crazy vocal gymnastic thing. It's a actual, anthem.
Yeah.
They're going all out on this one.
Yeah. And see, that's the thing that they've talked about on some of those different podcasts about how Jim Crockett tried a lot of this stuff, had a great lot of ideas, but just didn't have the production staff and the resources to make everything look like it did in WWE. Even WWF back at this time. Because, you got Jimmy Crockett, David Crockett, and then the other Crockett brother was one of the cameramen. So, it was like Slim Pickens.
Yeah. But I like it. I like the style of it, right? It's not low class. It's just different. It's a more gritty product, which I enjoy that part of it. WWE is a bit too bright and cheery, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, at times it could be. But the whole theory, from what I heard him say, was to keep the house lights down where people were more apt to cheer and jump up and down and yell if they didn't think they were going to be seen on camera. Yeah. Where if you had a camera going and lights, you might be a little skittish about, am I going to look embarrassing? But if you're doing it in the dark,
Not a bad theory.
Yeah.
All right, so our first match here we've got going on is for the vacant Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight Championship, which is on its last legs at this point, eh? Although I love that version of the belt. It's a sharp-looking belt that they did. But it's Crusher Khrushchev, as younger fans might recognize the tattoo in the face. That's Barry Darsow, better known as Demolition Smash, and the Repo Man. About 1,800 other gimmicks as well.
Yeah.
And he's taking on young Sam Houston, who his lineage. Who's the brother of?
Jake the Snake Roberts.
And somebody else too, famous wrestler.
The
former WWE Women's Champion.
Yeah.
Rockin' Robin.
Rockin' Robin, that's it.
Now, Sam Houston, not a big guy, but a lot of fire, a lot of energy, just perfect babyface energy,
Well, and you could tell from this early years here, they were trying to give him a push.
Yeah.
They were trying to give him a push. And, being in this Mid-Atlantic title hunt and getting some of these matches and stuff, he was definitely getting a push. And then the rumor and innuendo sort of ruined that push by next year.
Yeah, the whole baby doll situation, eh?
Yeah, because I reckon they got married, I think, for a little while there. And, that didn't go well with upper management. And you started to see his downward spiral after that.
It's that really ended both their pushes when you think about it, eh?
Yeah.
I mean, Baby Doll was such a big part of 1985 and 86 NWA wrestling. I actually enjoyed this gimmick for Darsow, to be quite honest. believable in this because he wasn't trying to be a Russian. He was basically a sympathizer to Russia.
Yeah. He didn't have any accent.
Yeah,
Nikita
exactly.
and Ivan got the accent, and he's just like got his Minnesota accent. He's just,
Yeah, but they were a badass team together, weren't they? The three of them, Ivan, Nikita, and Darso.
Oh yeah.
Like great stuff, I miss, that's one thing I miss about the foreign gimmicks is just having a group like that menace from a foreign country, right?
Right.
And you know what? I miss baby faces that sell as well, and then fire up. Referee looking stylish.
Yeah.
Mustard yellow shirt and pants. Isn't that Sonny Fargo? Is that who that is?
Maybe. I can't.
Yeah. What were your thoughts on Sam Houston back in the day when you were watching him?
I was pretty much for most of the heels, so I was, I guess the only thing I wondered about was even back then I was thinking, how many cowboy gimmicks do we need?
Yeah.
Because we're going to see two more in a match later on.
Yeah.
With Ron Bass and Black Bart.
There's a lot. Yeah.
And every time Barry Windham would show up, he still was, wasn't quite doing the whole cowboy thing, but he still would wear like the cowboy wrestling boots. So he still had that from him and his dad's day, and stuff. So it was like, how many cowboys do we need?
I hear you.
And then, of course, you'd have Nelson Royal show up on Mid-Atlantic from time to time. And
that's right.
He was so cowboy. He still, even though he's passed away, Nelson Royal's Western Wear and Boot Shop is still open in Mooresville.
I think the biggest criticism of stuff from the 80s and that wrestling style was, it's slow and stuff like that. But it's not that it's slow. They're just taking their time, letting the crowd absorb the moves. You notice, like, say we're watching a head scissors here by Sam Houston, but there's always movement with it. There's struggle by Khrushchev to get out. Sam Houston is firing up the crowd and stuff like that. It's not like they're just laying there resting. Wow. Well, he just picked him up like a baby.
So I actually thought about this and mentioned something to Taylor about it, especially in today's world. The other night during the Full Gear pay-per-view, I don't know if it was where it was farther in the card or because of the pace, one of the probably not the crowd wasn't into it as much was Mercedes and Chris Statlander.
Right.
But it was an old school match. Chris Statlander had power. Mercedes worked her arm and went after her arm the whole match to get the advantage.
Right.
And Chris Statlander, even though she was bigger, was trying to fight from underneath because she had a one-arm advantage. But that was the whole psychology of the match. And you can tell people now, some people aren't into that. They would rather have a 450 splash.
Right.
But now that was a high spot. He threw him pretty high.
I guess it was. And he's selling it. That's the nice thing, right? He's selling the effects of it. And Darso is giving time for him to sell it. That's a big thing, right? Right?
Yeah.
Too many people right now be right on top of them. But it was a major offensive move. It's something that you want to sell.
Right. You do that, then you go after the crowd and give them time to sell. Slow it down a minute.
Yep.
Oh, okay. All right. Here's the Gorilla Slam press.
Look at Darso, man. Just a beast.
And another one right back down on his face.
I think it was either Rude or Henning, because he was part of the whole Minnesota crew that came through. They said like he was probably the strongest in the weight room.
Yeah.
Oh, good punch there. Another lost art, the punch.
Yeah.
Who do you think's got the best punch in wrestling right now, modern times?
Ugh. That's a good question. I don't know where everybody slaps. It's hard to, you know. I'd have to think about that. That's a good question.
Yeah, and that's sad that you can't think of that. You know, when even 20 years ago, you could name a bunch of guys that just could do it so well. So this is kind of around the time that Magnum and Dusty were training Sam Houston, really had him part of their group, right?
Yeah, I think he come out some, you know, because that was pretty much, you know, all the baby faces would stick together. Heels would, you know, sometimes be together. So, I think Sam was one of them that they had with him there every now and then.
God, that's one of the things that drives me the most crazy about nowadays, especially in the WWE. I'm seeing that a lot in the WWE, is the whole baby faces not getting along.
Yeah.
Like, nobody trusts anybody. They don't get along. There's always dissension amongst the team. Oh, here we go. We're looking at a bulldog.
Yep.
There it is. Hashtag bring back the bulldog.
Okay,
we got the leg up.
See, so that's his finisher. He thinks he's won. And I like how they did it next to the rope. It protects Khrushchev because he didn't actually kick out. He just put the leg over there. Then he gets the win, even though Houston put his leg there too, but the ref doesn't see that. And there you got the vacant champion, who's now the new Mid-Atlantic champion.
Crusher Khrushchev, new Mid-Atlantic champion. I'm telling you, Ted, that bulldog that Houston does, though, somebody could use that move today and make it effective.
Yeah.
Oh, foot in the rope for Houston too.
Yep.
Look at that swipe. Look at that.
Yeah, the ref doesn't see it. If I'm not mistaken, in the next week or two on TV, it is brought back up so they can continue their feud. You know, you didn't really beat me, that kind of type of thing.
Yeah. I'm just going to mute for the ads here.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've got the ad free, but I've got ads.
Oh, no. So what is your ad up there?
I've got Wayfair right now.
Okay, I've got some kind of Piedmont medical group in Georgia, official health care provider of the Georgia Bulldogs. I ain't live in Georgia, but they got their commercial.
That must be where your VPN's from.
My baby.
I'm in New York right now.
Oh, okay.
Oh my!
Now,
so good opening match.
You know, if NordVPN would like to sponsor you, you'd be happy to read some ads for them.
Oh yeah, for sure. But they're not. So YouTube, they are not sponsoring this show right now. So.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
It's not a Texas death match. It's a Mexican death match.
Oh. This is interesting.
But now, really, I heard them call it this a couple of times, which may, you know, I don't know what they're saying on the commentary, but the way to win it is to capture the sombrero.
Yes, it's a sombrero on a pole match, basically.
Yeah, basically there. So, even though on the little title thing it says Mexican Death Match, technically it's a capture the sombrero match, which to me was like, Abdul's, I ain't climbing no pole, so I'm just going to hurt him.
Oh, the Raging Bull Manny Fernandez, former world tag team champion with Dusty Rhodes and Rick Rude.
Rick Rude, that was probably one of the most shocking ones.
Were you a fan of the R&R?
I was Rick Rude. But now I do love a good Manny Fernandez promo.
A lot of brothers.
And he's always shouting out San Antonio.
Yeah.
I don't care where they're wrestling at. He'll talk about his people in San Antonio.
Is it me or is Abby bleeding already?
Yeah, I think he is.
We haven't even started the match and Abby's bleeding.
Yeah.
There's the sombrero with the referee. Who's that ring announcer? I'm not sure who that is.
I'm not sure who that is.
So we should point out, although this is match 2, this one's actually happening from the Omni. So we're switching back and forth between Greensboro and the Greensboro Coliseum and the Omni in Atlanta. So is it just me, or am I the only one that misses guys getting dressed up in jeans, cowboy boots, and a t-shirt for these type of fights?
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
Love
me too. Me too. Oh, there we go. Abby's got the weapon out already, and I'm sure Manny's bleeding at this point. I was thinking of calling this episode "There Will Be Blood" because there is a lot of blood in this. Yeah. One of the complaints I have about, more so AEW than WWE is the amount of blood used and everything. But trust me, there was a lot of blood in this time too. I mean, this isn't as bad. I think the year prior it was just every match had blood, but this one's pretty close. Look at the crimson mask on Manny.
And then the sad part is they will not change the ring skirt.
What's that? Sorry?
I said they won't be changing the ring.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of hepatitis possibility there.
Oh, yeah, he's bleeding.
And he's a mess.
I also think it was different how they had the commentary desk was pressed right up against part of the ring.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
Dangerous.
Yeah. For everybody, really, for the wrestlers too.
Yeah. I mean, I guess a lot of people weren't doing tope suicidas through the ropes back then, but still.
I know Abby wasn't, that's for sure.
No.
I think that's Bill Apter at ringside with the camera.
Yeah.
Whoa, monkey flip on Abby. How about that? That is a load to get over.
Oh, yeah.
Look at his forehead. What a mess. He must have just had a brawl with Carlos Colon, did he?
Either that or
good hang time for Manny there.
Yeah. Well, if you think about it now, his finisher was like almost like a flying forearm off the rope, which he called the flying burrito.
Yeah, yeah. Similar to Tito Santana's finisher maneuver back in the day. God, he is a mask of blood. He looks like Samoa Joe from the other night.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on the overall on the, was it Full Gear? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it? Was it good? Was it worth it?
I guess the Samoa Joe was a shock. I didn't think they would take the belt off of Hangman that soon. These pay-per-views are just too long.
Mm-hmm.
They're too long. You know, they're hard to watch. The whole
Yeah.
thing, I can't do 4 hours like I used to. So
Yeah.
I have to watch part of it and then catch the rest of it the next day because I just can't do it anymore. So, but overall, I guess, you know, and I know I'm biased, but my favorite match was the FTR Brodito because
Okay.
FTR is just on a level right now. No matter who they're in the ring with, they're making them look like they're, you know, some of their best matches ever. They're just so
Gotcha.
good right now.
Look at Paul Jones getting involved here. Oh, Abby's a mess too. And the funny thing is, there wasn't even really a build up to this match, eh?
No, and that's the thing because, you know, and Abdullah was one of them mercenaries who just went from territory to territory. A manager would bring him in, and if you didn't like somebody, you brought him in, and that was pretty much it.
Was I think we talked about this before. I think we were in agreement the Paul Jones army was kind of weak.
Yeah, they were fun, but they were, you know, I don't think anybody was too scared of them, but they were fun. You know.
Yeah. Ooh, now we're
You
getting a
know.
country whipping match here.
I mean, who doesn't like a good Baron Von Raschke promo? I like him. And Shaska Watley, you know.
Well, he's your boy.
Oh, yeah. I love me some Shaska.
And the 3-year-long feud with Jimmy Valiant.
Oh, yeah. Talk about long-term storytelling. Now, that one went on for a long time.
That's Triple H levels of long-term storytelling there.
Yeah.
I can't believe how much time they're giving this match, actually.
Well, I'm sure Abdul is like, hey, let's call this. Let's go home. Get up there. He's starting to look a little winded.
He's usually 2 forks and a thrust, and you're done, right? Oh, yeah. The mud flap. Oh, no, he missed. He missed.
Do we have anybody in the live chat?
We've got 3 viewers right now, so if anybody wants to chime in the chat, feel free. Hopefully you're watching along as well. Just to give a time check, we are at 26:29 of the Starrcade 85 pay-per-view right now. Manny Fernandez versus Abdullah the Butcher.
I will admit, I was a big Abdullah fan.
I was just going to ask, yeah.
I like the idea of, you know, he and it was sort of, you know, he never cut a promo. He always had a manager, and it was just one of those things. I just thought he was just an interesting character.
Manny had that kind of Southwestern judo. I don't know what you want to call that. It's a snazzy tux on Paul Jones. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
Sharp dressed man.
I think it was Tony Schiavone had said that Paul Jones was really big into selling Amway back in the day. He was always trying to sell people Amway and all these financial things.
Another weapon. Oh, did you see that? A weapon in the crotch. Spiked him.
Okay, now that's a good sell. He's kicking his feet as he's selling. That's a good one.
That is actually a great sell for that. That's what you would do.
In real life, that's probably what I'd be doing, is kicking my feet.
Now we're going to mix our blood together. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm going to rest on you because I'm tired, Manny.
Mm-hmm.
Please climb up and get the sombrero.
There it is. The burrito.
Yep. Flying burrito. Okay, it's one of those long sales. I'm gonna,
Kind of a
Manny.
clothesline.
Yeah, Manny hadn't had his boots on probably in the last 3 minutes. He's been wrestling in his socks.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that old woman there. Get up, Manny. Get up.
And this is dangerous. Sock feet on the top rope, and that's cable too. He could easily slip on this.
Oh, that was a long way across the ring. That was a long way.
What we got here now? The big avalanche. Oh, he missed.
Oh, he's going to roll out of the ring.
He's going for the sombrero. Paul Jones he got it. The winner by fetching the sombrero off the pole, Manny Fernandez. What does the sombrero have to do with death match, though? That's
I'm sure there's many things that would be considered very politically incorrect right now on this.
Paul Jones is not pleased. Giving the gears to Abby right now. It's a replay right now of the move that ended it.
Oh. I'm taking this Mid-Atlantic title back to Russia.
Mother Russia. It's a sharp looking belt.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's letting them know about it. Mid-Atlantic champion.
Russia number one. Iran number one.
Talk about a shocker when I got older and found out all these Russian guys were not from Russia.
They're all from Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm Canadian, isn't he?
Canadian, yeah. Mm-hmm. Montreal, yeah.
Look at Johnny Weaver's forehead. He's done a few blade jobs this time.
All right, we got another ad there, so I'm going to mute that. But yeah, what are you thinking so far? We had the good title match and a bloodbath.
The only thing I thought was odd again, listening to Tony Schiavone many times on his podcast talking about how usually they would tell the guys not to bleed till later in the card.
Yeah.
So by putting that match on second, now thinking about in hindsight what he said, it is a little bit not the usual style that you'd see blood that early.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. And that's one of the complaints that we have about this modern wrestling. You're doing everything in the first couple of matches. There's nothing left for the main event to do.
Right.
Yeah. So it's not an uncommon thing even in the past, but there was something about Starrcade, and I think that was kind of the Dusty booking where he wanted to throw everything at you. But, there can be times when you can kind of ease up on that stuff, eh?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we are going to be preparing for our next match, which is going to be, if I'm not mistaken, Ron Bass against Ron Bass against Rick Harris, better known as Black Bart.
And this is a bull rope match.
This is a bull rope match, yeah. Little Texas bull rope match. So, they're not all hits, right? And the interesting part about this next couple of matches here, we have back-to-back, we have stakes where if the winner of the match, they get a stipulation where they get a second match, right? So
yeah.
We're going to have Bass against Black Bart in the bull rope match. And if Bass wins, he gets J.J. Dillon for 5 minutes in a Texas bull rope match. Right after that, we're going to have an arm wrestling match with Superstar Graham and the Barbarian. Then they're going to have a match against each other. So interesting way that they scheduled that, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Now, this is pre-Horseman days for Dillon. Certainly nothing against Bass or Black Bart, but he certainly took a step up as far as the quality of wrestlers that he was managing. Now, previous to this, these guys have been tag team partners, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because Ron Bass, he'd been a heel for a while there, and then he had a face turn, and
now Bass got kind of a mini push at this time as a face. I know during the Great American Bash series they were pushed him. He was kind of like I think Conrad Thompson and those guys kind of talked about a FOD, a friend of Dusty. Yeah, so he got that little Dusty magic sprinkled on him a little bit, but it never really turned into much. And then eventually he would, I think he headed back to Florida, wasn't it? Florida Championship Wrestling from Florida, and then off to the WWF shortly after that.
Well, see, to me, at least Black Bart's got the longer hair and the beard. Yeah. Ron Bass, to me, was, and again, no disparagement to him, but just I remember when he first came in, again, the cowboy gimmick, he just, to me, seemed like a cheap version of Blackjack Mulligan.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, Bart has the long hair, the beard, the singlet as well. Yep. So little differentiation. Bart, technically, here we go. We're bleeding already. Look at that. Black Bart within seconds is sliced open by the cowbell. As I say, there will be blood. But Bart technically is a former world champion. Ooh, that's a nasty gash. In World Class Wrestling Association. He wasn't he the first world champion for them?
He may have been. I can't remember.
I'm trying to remember if it was world champion or if he was the Texas champion right before they changed it to the world champion. Let me look that up there. Let's see. again, another guy that hung around championship wrestling from Florida as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, he's listed as WCWA World Heavyweight Championship one time.
Okay.
So how about that? These are two big raw bone cowboys, though. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
These are big dudes. But yeah, you're right. Just right now, Bass is kind of looking like the ripoff of the Blackjacks, and he's just kind of looking like your neighbor, that your big tough neighbor that would get in there, you know?
Yeah. Okay, now Black Bolt's going to get a little heat here. He's going to go after him some.
Look at the mask of blood on him too, right? I love JJ with the tuxedo T-shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, the wife's in the house. Ted, little comment from Jen. Hey,
Okay.
gentlemen. Ted, I could listen to your southern accent all day.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So part of me wishes JJ would have just come out there with his suit on and, and have the commentators make a comment that he said he wasn't even going to, get dressed in case, because there's no way his man could lose.
Right. They're both a mess. Well, fans here in Atlantic, Canada would be familiar with JJ Dillon as well, because he did a little booking here in Atlantic region. During International Wrestling's run back in the early 80s. We had a lot of stars from the Florida area because it was a nice little trip up for them in the summertime. Okay. And they, we were a summertime promotion, May to September, basically, while the ice was out of the hockey rinks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeez. That can't feel good.
No.
Ron Bash has raked the bull rope over the cut on the forehead of Black Bart, and he is bleeding like a stuck pig. Oh my God.
Oh, now here's the babyface comeback. He's bringing the comeback. Got a little bit of drama here. Oh, and he gets out of it.
Even Bart's hand is soaked in blood.
Yeah.
Oh, that was pretty nimble by Ron Bass there with the hop over the ropes.
Yeah. Is he going to jump off the apron on him?
Yep.
Oh.
There you go. With the cowbell. But Dusty used to say it was a 10-pound cowbell, wasn't it?
I think it was. It was pretty heavy.
Mm.
So we've had sombreros and cowbells. Definitely a Southwest theme here.
Yeah. Jeez. Bart must have had about 20 aspirin in his system to get that blood flowing that good.
It's like, Doc, we need a prescription for steroids and blood thinners. We need some
Yeah.
plasma.
Yeah. Oh, announcing the upcoming Bunkhouse Stampede, soon to be won by Dusty.
Yeah.
Ooh. JJ starting to look a bit nervous there. Jen says, I wish I could see what you guys were watching, but I'll live vicariously through your reaction. So far, pretty gripping. It's gripping, that's for sure.
Really?
Gripping and dripping with blood.
Just think of it as listening to a NASCAR race on the radio.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we could do play-by-play, but I mean,
Yeah.
who'd be who?
Well, this one, pretty much you can say he got hit with a cowbell. He got hit with a cowbell. He got hit with a cowbell.
Lots of blood. Lots of blood. Lots of blood. Oh, another cowbell shot. More cowbell, eh, Ted?
Yes, more cowbell.
Ooh.
Yeah, I can see a short coming out of that now. I didn't ever think about it, but yes.
Yeah.
I need to add the SNL and one of these matches. Need more cowbell.
And a quick pin by Ron Bass after coming off the top rope with the cowbell, surprisingly. And look at JJ.
For you all are not watching it, JJ has definitely been to the tanning bed today. Not. No spray tan there.
Oh, man. We've got a very pale JJ Dillon now in for his match against Ron Bass. Smart move by JJ, though, to be honest with you.
Oh, yeah. Get him while he's down. I used to feel sorry for JJ when they would put him in the War Games just so he could eat the pin.
Yeah. But JJ on the offense here.
Oh, that's a good knee drop there.
One of my favorite comments about managers and wrestling was Jim Cornette was talking about that there's a certain skill to being a wrestler as a manager, even though most of these guys were great wrestlers at one time in their life, especially JJ Dillon. You have to learn how to wrestle like a manager, i.e. look very awkward in there, which is tough for a guy who knows what he's doing, right?
Yeah. Well, you even think about like Mr. Fuji.
Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm. Looks like Ron Bass is bassing up.
Yeah, bassing up.
JJ looks like he just saw a ghost. So no, JJ looks like a ghost actually, but yeah, I mean, and I think Cornette mentioned that JJ was one of the best to do it as well.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously there's a lot of fans of Heenan out there, but yeah, it is a special skill to sell like a manager. And I think that was an obvious blade job coming up from JJ. Yep.
Yep.
He's doing some carving right now. Yep, there you go. It's like a Daniel Day-Lewis movie here. I love that Black Bart just out at ringside watching, just covered in blood. Yeah.
I mean, you guys are the heels. If he wanted to interfere, I think he could, but you know.
Yeah. Just putting a beating on him. Dillon is just rocking and rolling here.
Oh, he knocked the ref out.
Ref bump. That's the first of the night, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
now
here comes
Black Bart.
Yeah. Black Bart in for the save.
Oh.
Pile driver?
Pile driver.
Yes. I would call that a Texas style pile driver. It was kind of like Terry Funk used to do it, eh? The slow moving pile driver.
Yeah.
Referee's up. And JJ Dillon with the surprise win here. Put that feather in his hat. Look at that ring. My God. Look at the blood on the canvas.
Yeah. OSHA would definitely have a problem with that.
I'm sure the rest of the guys are excited to swim around in that later on.
Well, and I think you commented on the video I done with Taylor about, he was surprised that wrestling was still governed by athletic commissions.
Yeah. Yep.
Some states will not let you bleed.
Yeah, that was a great point that you were making about the whole AEW situation when they were in St. Louis, and they, they had to be careful. They, especially a guy like Moxley, who's, he'll bleed on the way to the ring, kind of like Abdullah and Manny did. But yeah, it certainly changes the way you can work.
Well, and that's why I told Taylor we'd had a discussion about it, and I was like, yeah, that's if Moxley's on a pay-per-view and he doesn't bleed, then they're probably not allowed in that state. That's that's my rule of thumb.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because and again, it's just amazing to me that these athletic commissions still govern wrestling.
Well, if they can get their dollars any way they can, I guess, right?
Right. I mean, back in the day when it was, advertised as a sporting event, but it's like, really?
All right. So it looks like we are heading back to the Omni. This is going to be the Superstar Billy Graham versus the Barbarian in an arm wrestling match to start things off. Thoughts on our friend, the Barbarian?
Another one of those that everybody backstage said he was just freakishly strong.
Yeah. I thought he had a cool look too. Like I probably one of the sadder things for me is when in the WWF they put him with Heenan and they gave him that silly fur pants gimmick.
Yeah.
But I just posted something about the Powers of Pain the other day, and I mean, yeah, you could call them a Road Warriors ripoff or something, but they had their own unique thing as well, which I liked. I thought they were just beasts in there. They actually could make the Road Warriors look small, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Superstar with our generic WWE music here to sound almost like the Final Countdown.
Yeah.
Not quite. It's maybe the second last countdown, we'll call this. Were you a fan of Europe, Ted?
Oh, they had a few.
Yeah.
They had a few.
Superstar's looking jacked, though, eh?
Yeah.
Even then.
Do you want me to tell you underrated 80s song that I really like?
All right.
Was White Lion's cover of Radar Love.
Oh, okay. Yeah, White Lion. Yeah, I haven't heard that name in a while.
Yeah, I think that was an underrated banger. I like the original Radar Love, but I thought they did a good job on it.
My son and I watched School of Rock the other night.
Okay.
Were you a fan of that movie, Jack Black?
Yeah, I liked that movie.
Good soundtrack. Probably Superstar's last okay run, would you say?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then the hip problem started. I mean, he did make the comeback in WWF, but by that time his hip was just in such bad shape. A lot of people forget he was supposed to be part of Hulk Hogan's team on the Survivor Series, the very first Survivor Series in '87, but they had to write him off because of his hip issue. So that's when Don Morocco took his place.
That's another one I don't feel gets the love that he should is Don Morocco.
Man, I shout that guy's name out to the heavens. I think he's just phenomenal. I love Don Morocco. One of my favorites of all time. I know towards the end of the 80s, he kind of coasted a little bit, but in the early 80s, especially as Intercontinental Champion, he was phenomenal. Yeah. And of course, his runs in the Mid-Atlantic area and Georgia areas too, right? Yeah. Jeez, what would you say the combined bicep measurement of these two is?
I don't know. It's pretty big.
I'm going to go 46.
So 23 and 23? Okay.
Yeah.
I just think it was a shame that superstar Billy Graham felt like in order to get his career going, he had to rip off Hulk Hogan.
Just, I know. Yeah. All these guys that ripped off Hogan, this guy, and Austin Idol, and all these different people. That's sarcasm there, folks, by the way.
I will give Superstar one thing that I do think he has over Hulk Hogan was that he didn't hide it. It was going, and he shaved it all off.
You know what, Ted? I think if Hogan had went with this look that Graham had, it would have made a world of difference towards the end of his WWF run.
Yeah.
It's a great. It's ahead of its time. The bald look is ahead of its time, and then with the white goatee and mustache, it worked, man.
Oh yeah.
Smart move by Billy Graham. What'd you think of Karate Kid Billy Graham?
That was different. That was different.
Kung Fu Master Billy Graham.
Yeah.
Interesting that they're using their left hand to do the arm wrestling here. Man, the Barbarian's a beast.
Now, for the younger people out there watching that, and you want to see a really great arm wrestling movie, go see Sylvester Stallone in Over the Top.
Oh, man, I love Over the Top. Classic. Great movie, great story, great action, great soundtrack, all of that. Yeah. Look at the ladies. The ladies are into the Superstar. I have no clue what Paul Jones is doing right now. I think that's a win, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Paul Jones, number 1 with the cane. And right into the match we go. So for those watching along, playing at home on your scorecard, that's a win in the arm wrestling contest for Superstar Billy Graham. We immediately, oh my God, did you see that kick to the face?
Yes.
I think he caught him flush. Billy Graham is split open already from the cane shot from Paul Jones, so there will be blood.
So for those keeping score, Sam Houston and Crusher Khrushchev were the only 2 people that have not bled so far.
And the Barbarian so far, but I'm sure he will.
Yeah.
Do you like the darkened arena, Ted?
I like a little bit more light. I think sometimes, you need just a little bit more. Sometimes it looks way too dark.
Yeah, this looks like they forgot to turn on some lights.
Yeah,
I don't remember the other matches being this dark. Man, Barbarian's got to be like 320 here.
Yeah.
Billy Graham, no small man himself, though.
No.
Barb's going to go for, I think, the flying headbutt.
Yeah, I think that's flying headbutt.
Oh. Is he busted now, or is that Billy Graham's blood on him?
Maybe Billy Graham and his paint, too. He's got the red paint.
Thought I saw something on his forehead, but. We got a bear hug from Billy Graham on the Barbarian. The Barbarian is raising the roof.
Yeah.
Batting it. Paul Jones is apoplectic at ringside, as I think Rella Monsoon used to say.
Now, I like the stance that Billy Graham's taking where he's leaning into it. You know,
Yes.
It's not just a flush stance. He's leaning into it there.
Oh, Paul Jones in again with the cane. Oh, good block by Billy Graham. Threatening Paul Jones now.
And the fans are saying, do it, do it.
Oh, he got him. I think Barb was a little late. Yeah, there's Barb. Yeah. I don't think he was supposed to get that shot in on him.
Probably not.
Yeah. DQ win for Billy Graham, it looks like there. Oh.
Over the barricade.
Yeah, that little thin barricade. That match was quick. That only went 3 minutes. Think we need shorter matches nowadays?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think case in point is going to be the I Quit match. It's 15 minutes. That's it. And it's one of the greatest matches of all time.
Yeah. Yes. I stress that everything does not have to go 30 minutes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Billy Graham is victorious. For those who are following along with us, we are at 58:56 as far as our time here on Peacock for Starrcade 85. So we're just finishing up the Billy Graham Barbarian match.
Now, I wonder how the fans are feeling with it switching back and forth.
Yes.
Are they being taken out of the action where they're having to wait for their next match?
Yeah, I wonder. So they must have had screens, did they, to watch the other matches? I'm assuming.
I think they did, but still, it's just not the same. I guess
Yeah. Well, I mean,
and I think this is one of those things that another one of these financial decisions that Crockett made that wasn't probably wasn't the smartest. They should have just left it in Greensboro and done the whole thing there.
I agree with you. So the in response to this, the WWE obviously the following March at WrestleMania 2 decided to go with 3 arenas, 3 different locations, which was near suicidal because that was just a poor idea. But I will give them credit. I believe, if I remember correctly, they basically would show all the matches in one arena, then go to the next arena and show all the matches. So the fans were basically seeing it all in a row instead of having to watch on a screen or wait. But by the time you got to the fans in LA, it's probably a long day for those folks, I would say. Now this next match should be a good one, Ted.
Yeah.
We have got the Nature Boy, Buddy Landell, up against Terry Taylor for the NWA National Heavyweight Championship, a very prestigious title back in the day. What do you think of AEW introducing the national championship, considering that there is currently an NWA national champion?
I thought that was odd, and I already think AEW has too many belts.
Yeah.
But I do appreciate him, the lineage and him using the name. And I did see it. I didn't see the whole thing, but they said that Tony Khan did have a discussion with Billy Corgan about this. So I don't know. I don't know what that means because Billy Corgan's a little bit. He's a little bit out there too. So I don't know. I don't know what kind of conversation him and Tony Khan would have. But,
now, if I paid you $1 million, would you be able to name every title in AEW at this present time?
Yeah, I think I can, but it would be, I'm part of me is wishful thinking, not wishful, but optimistic that maybe the national title is maybe it's going to eventually combine with the TNT title.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Tony's backup plan in case if HBO Max gets sold to somebody and they don't renew their deal, so you don't have to keep calling it TNT title,
Yeah.
So that's the only thing I can come up with. I can't come up with anything else. So he likes his title. So yeah. But now back in the day, I did like the national title. But then eventually it would get combined with the U.S. title.
Yes.
And so that was the thing that happened.
So I guess the other problem, and I had a little bit of a same issue figuring this out back at this time too, what was the order of importance of these titles? Because you had the national title, you had the Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight Championship, you had the U.S. title, the TV title, all this stuff. So what was the pecking order? To me, it just depended on who held it, because once Tully got his hands on this national title, it really started to elevate, if you ask me.
Well, and see, originally, the way it was set up, you had the national title was the main title in Georgia.
Yeah.
So it was their big title. So whoever held the national title, that would usually be the person who could get a shot at Harley Race or Jack Briscoe or whoever was the world champion when they come through. The Mid-Atlantic had the U.S. title. Yeah. But then as Jim Crockett started, took everything over, basically it was sort of like at the beginning there, even now a lot today, where you got Tony Khan owning two companies with Ring of Honor and AEW, and you got all these belts that just show up,
Yeah.
And that, eventually they did. But then even when Crockett bought Mid-South or UWF and then the Central States, Bob Goggles territory, those titles were coming in. The Central States title, you'd hear them talk about it, and it was just everybody had a title.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think, like you said, whoever had it at the time would be the more emphasis on it, because to me the U.S. title, besides with Magnum and Nikita, to me one of the fondest memories of that was when Slaughter, before he made his jump and was in Mid-Atlantic and held that U.S. belt. That was a special run.
Yeah. Yeah. To me, it went world title, U.S. title, probably national title once Tully got his hands on it, then the TV title.
Yeah.
But can we talk about Buddy Landel and just how good Buddy Landel really was?
Oh, he was real good.
I love watching Buddy Landel's matches, man. He and Tully Blanchard, probably two of the best at being just that as somebody commented one time on one of my videos, Tully was great at being that sawed off little prick, as he called him, right?
Yeah.
And Buddy Landel was the same way.
You just wanted to slap him.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for people that aren't haven't watched this time frame, maybe a comparison would be, say, Shawn Michaels back in the 96, 97 or 97 time. Just a slappable face and slappable person. But these were guys that just love being heels. But Buddy could work too.
Yeah.
This is actually a great match right now that we're watching here. I've never been a massive Terry Taylor fan, but he was great. Early 80s, that time frame.
Yeah.
Man, I just feel for these two guys who probably aren't going to bleed here and just rolling around this bloody mat.
And it's a real shame of how, not too long after this is when Buddy Landell get fired, and he was supposed to have a big feud with Ric Flair, and that didn't get to come to happen. And
yeah. Oh, what a punch that was by Buddy, eh?
Yeah.
Man, he had a great punch. Great punch. When he wanted to go, he could go.
Yeah.
Nice punch by Terry Taylor, too.
Oh, that was a high backdrop.
That was. These guys are putting on a little clinic here. They're moving, too. There's no rest holds here.
No.
Do you think the Nature Boy gimmick hurt Buddy, or was it good enough to get him noticed?
I think because where did he first start using it in? Was it Memphis with Jerry Jarrett, or one of those places where he first used it? Maybe. And
I think so, because he came from Mid-South and then went to Memphis, right, and then to here.
Yeah, I think so. And back then, some of them would do that, but then when he come over here to Crockett, he just kept it. So I think it was interesting because people wanted to see who was the better Nature Boy, who was the better one, and it caused a little bit of a story. And as JR says, you got to maximize your minutes,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's JJ back out.
He's got the tucks on, the bandage.
You know what I'm loving about just watching this match, everything that Buddy's doing here, there's venom to it, if that makes sense. Like even when he did the snapmare, he snapped him over quickly. Like there's some stink on it, if that's the way to put it.
And see, that was another one of those what if situations. Is if Buddy Landell doesn't get fired, there was some thoughts that JJ may would have not been put with Tully and then ended up with the Horseman.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, what a clothesline. I'm loving this match. Yeah, I compare what he's doing. It's like Bret Hart. Bret Hart always had some sting to what he was doing,
Yeah.
There was always a snap. If he was going to do that backbreaker over his knee, it was always he picked the person up quick and really came down onto the knee, that kind of stuff. Too much nonchalant with a lot of moves nowadays. The illusion of movement, I think, is what they call it, isn't it, Ted?
Yeah. The movement in between the moves.
Yeah. You know, for some, like I feel like Terry Taylor should have done better than he did. I don't know what went wrong with him. He seemed like he was on a good trajectory in the early '80s. His original run in Mid Atlantic and stuff like that, and it just went sideways. He had a good run in Mid South. I will say that, but I don't know. Should he have been like maybe in the Horsemen or something like that?
Well, see, I think, and that's what I was going to say was, unless you turn him heel, I think from what I remember, as far as the babyface side compared to with the others, is he just didn't have the chops on the microphone.
Yeah. Now I have not seen that before. The delayed stand on the face move. But yeah, I'm just noticing the difference between like Terry Taylor just did a snapmare just prior, and he did his slower, whereas Buddy he had some stink on his, and it makes a difference. But yeah, that whole mic skills thing, you're right, Ted. That makes a big difference for anybody. It just goes to show too why managers were so important back in the day, helping getting people over. Oh, another ref bump. Old Sonny Fargo's taking a beating tonight.
What's JJ giving him? Is it the loafer?
The loafer, yeah. Oh, ref's up. Oh, back-to-back ref bumps. Holy. Hope he's got danger pay tonight.
The most dangerous shoe in wrestling.
God, what a great punch. Ooh, not the best. That wasn't the best forearm.
No.
What we got here? Superplex, maybe? Oh, they put the lights up for this part, eh?
Yeah. Okay, but now they come off the middle rope.
Nice.
JJ trips him. I'm trying to think. I wonder who was the first one. I'm trying to think that started actually doing it where they stood on the top rope with them for the superplex.
It wasn't Barry, because Barry did his from the second rope too.
Yeah, which Barry, if he'd have stood on the top rope, I think he's like 6'9". He would have hit. He would have
killed somebody. Yeah. By the way, so Buddy Landell just won the NWA National Heavyweight Championship thanks to some interference from J.J. Dillon. That was a little slick move, too, by Buddy. He grabbed the top rope to make sure things went right there. Swept the leg, Johnny, and Buddy lands on top of Terry Taylor, and we've got a brand new
national championship.
National champion, yeah. And that was pretty much the segue, wasn't it, for the start of this run that he was supposed to have, which in his own little style, he ended up costing himself.
Yeah, he gets fired. Dusty shows up one week with the national title, and supposedly in some town in South Carolina or Georgia, Dusty beat him for the national title, which they never even had a match, you know. And that was the thing with that internet. You could say that and nobody would doubt you.
Yeah.
It was like
Phantom title changes.
The Road Warriors came back on TV and had some kind of trophy or something. They'd won some tournament in Japan.
Yep.
And they'd never wrestled. They just bought them a trophy and said that because they still weren't ready to put the world titles on them. So it was like, we're going to let everybody know they won this fictitious thing in Japan. All right, now here's some tag team wrestling now.
I was just about to say, I can see you getting excited now because we know what's coming up here. You want to tell the folks at home what we're going to be watching now, Ted?
Oh, we're going to watch the Andersons. Ole, and some days it was his cousin, some days it was his brother, some days it was his nephew, Arn Anderson. Just depends. Yeah. They did not keep continuity on this at times.
They did not. The Minnesota Wrecking Crew, Ole and Arn Anderson against Wahoo McDaniel and Billy Jack Haynes.
Billy Jack.
Interesting combo there.
And I think not too long after this, Billy Jack is off to WWF.
Yeah, not too far from now. Yeah. He ended up in WWF in 1986. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was shortly after WrestleMania, maybe. I'm assuming Billy Jack probably stopped in Portland along the way, though, right?
Yeah. Now, I think they are the U.S. Tag Team titles holders, and this is like sort of a unification match, maybe, or is it? I can't remember.
I'm trying to remember. So I know. So Arn and Ole are the national tag team champions.
Yeah. Or maybe only their belts on the line. I can't remember what the backstory of this one was.
It is, yes, it's just their belts on the line.
Okay. But eventually they will unify those tag belts.
Yeah.
Ole Anderson defeats you with a submission standing armbar.
Yes. And you could believe it.
Yes.
You know what? I just love, especially watching like the matches with enhancement talent, on TBS, and they would just beat the snot out of the enhancement talent and just work the arm like crazy till you're begging the person to give up, And
then Ole was just asking for it, in his promos when he would sit there and go in, you're a truck driver, you're a construction worker, you're doing all this, and come get in the ring with me. You can't do what I do, that kind of stuff. And you just believed it.
Yeah. Now,
but you did get him stabbed one night. So,
yeah. So we should mention too, now we're seeing Ole and Arn, and, we're obviously right away your mind goes to the Four Horsemen, but technically the Four Horsemen hasn't been formed as of yet.
No.
What obviously is the big story leading into this this event is the whole Flair Dusty situation, and this in September of this year in '85, it was obviously the Andersons and Flair that broke Dusty's ankle and led to the build up to this match. But at this point, we're not yet. Holy crap! Did Billy Jack ever get him up with ease there? He just press slammed Arn, but just picked him up against his will. But yeah, so we officially aren't the Four Horsemen, but right now you have basically the Triangle of Terror with Flair and the Andersons. Tully isn't in the picture yet.
So I need to go back and watch the movie that Billy Jack Haynes based his character on. The original Billy Jack.
Yeah.
I have not seen that in a long time. I need to watch that again.
Woo! There's Wahoo with the chop. Now, is he McDaniel or McDaniels at this point? Because I hear both all the time.
Yeah. I whatever they popped up. Sometimes it's Wahoo McDaniel, sometimes it's Wahoo McDaniels.
Yeah.
Former New York Jet offensive lineman in the AFL.
Yeah. Yeah. They've shown that girl in the crowd a few times. I think Jackie Crockett was scouting her out or something. Man, I love the way Arn moves. When he's in that ring, just the movement from him. Like just the simple things with Arn, like when I think of, we've talked about this before, like he'll get punched, he'll drop to a knee, you know, to sell it. which is, I know that somebody would say, "Oh, it's just silly," but no, it just, he's not rocked, but he's hurt. You know?
Yeah.
So when was it that Arn landed in Mid-Atlantic? Would it have been early '85?
Yeah, either late '84 or early '85.
Okay. So he really got the really good push right off the get-go, being team with Ole.
Yeah, because that was the whole thing when he got there. Because they even I remember aired a vignette of him before he actually made his first appearance.
Right.
And you'd see him in the early ones. He would have a New York Yankees hat on.
Yeah.
And he was playing off, all the Crockett stuff being on TBS, home of the Atlanta Braves, and people down south just hated the Yankees. So it's like, I'm gonna wear a Yankees hat, just get a little extra heat.
Yeah. Oh, we've got a new comment. This is from @SlideCounter. Arn definitely one of the best technical wrestlers ever. He transitions very smoothly. I completely agree with you, SlideCounter. That's what I'm talking about too. Just his movement is just, there's not a wasted step, there's not a wasted move, and there's always the idea of selling.
Yeah. Well, that was the story when him and Tully first went to the WWF. After their first couple of matches, they got on to him, some of the other guys, and it's like, you're making us look bad. You can't sell that much for the enhancement talent. And he's like, well, this is what we always done.
And thanks for joining us tonight, SlideCounter. Really appreciate you coming on. If you're tuned in to this as well, we're at 121.12 right now on Starrcade. It's just fantastic. And then you just saw just a moment ago the classic Anderson move, which I love, is the whole Ole going for the tag, ties up the opponent with the legs scissor.
Yep.
And just God, I wish. Well, of course, FDR, they watch this stuff, but I wish more teams would watch this stuff. You're very welcome, SlideCounter. It's great to have you aboard. I guess let's ask our guest, were you around during this time when this event was happening, or are you a fan that's come across it in later years? You don't have to reveal age or anything like that, but I'm just wondering if this was something you saw live.
Got the double team in the ropes.
Babyface come to break it up, get some confusion going in there.
And the ref will, of course, move the babyface out.
Yep. The heels get their dirty work in, but they don't embarrass the referee, right? They get out quickly.
Yep.
That's a big part of it, too.
So me and Taylor have started a counter where we're going back and doing these AEW pay-per-views from the beginning. And so far, everyone during a tag match, it's like we're seeing if JR, he's like, the ref's got to get control of this match.
Yes.
Who's the legal man?
Yes. From SlideCounter, I was 5 at the time, but I do my research and watch a lot of wrestling from the 80s golden era. Fantastic. Good. Fantastic. Love it. That's fantastic. Well, glad to have you on board. I hope you check out more stuff on the channel. Obviously, both of us are massive fans of the 80s. I have a video up on my channel that's going to talk about the one of the matches coming up, the Steel Cage I Quit match with Magnum T and Tully Blanchard, and just whether it's the greatest I Quit match of all time. But there's lots of content there, lots of what ifs to check out, all kinds of good stuff. Ted, you want to talk about your channel, while we're watching this? Let people know what they can find over in Ted's Takes and Wrestling.
A lot of shorts, and I just do different stuff, a lot of old promos and stuff, and then I'll put some shorts with just some music behind it, some moves and stuff. There is a lot of AEW. I can't put as much WWE stuff because every time I do, they block it in 2,000 territories. So, so Tony Khan doesn't mind, so I'll use some of his stuff. But I do put a lot of old promos up there. Got a lot of Arn and Jake the Snake. Now, some of my newer videos with current clips, there's a lot of this K-pop music behind it, and I wouldn't think I'd be a K-pop fan, but my granddaughter made me watch that K-pop Demon Hunters, and I can't get those songs out of my head. So, yeah.
Never picked you for a K-pop fan.
I didn't either, but she made me watch it, and the songs, they're addictive. They're so catchy. I just can't get them out. We just saw the win there where Ole was holding the leg in behind. It was really good the way he held it there, so Arn could get the pin.
Yep. Here we go. There's a replay now. Wahoo's in there putting a beating on Arn in the heel corner. Ole with a very wise move here. Just a sneaky move by heel. Trips Wahoo, holds the leg. Arn blocking with the body. Great stuff.
That Arn does the pin.
Yeah.
So that you cannot see what's going on. He even has that in thought.
Yeah. No, just love it. Love it. Just classic heel work, right?
Yeah.
Now we're gonna go to something that you don't see nowadays. We're going to intermission. Let's all go to the snack bar because we're going to intermission there. But yeah, what are your thoughts so far, Ted? What are your thoughts on the pay-per-view overall? Do you have a favorite match so far?
Well, so far that one there, and probably the Buddy Landell and Terry Taylor. Again, Manny Fernandez and Abdullah was everything you expected, but like I said, it just, and again, I couldn't remember it, but now that I'm rewatching it, I just think it was odd that there was this much blood this early in it, because normally the pattern was later on, but
it was it's interesting that it's like they just threw all the stops on those early matches. Now coming back from the intermission, we've got it looks like we got a backstage interview with Buddy Landell. Let's listen to this.
JJ's just so good. Do a little flexing.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big old topaz or emerald ring at JJ's wearing there.
Yeah. The world's national heavyweight champion.
World's national.
Beautiful. Well, we're heading into our next match, which is Magnum TA versus Tully Blanchard, steel cage, U.S. title, I Quit match. Yeah. And At Sly Counter has said the Magnum versus Blanchard match can compete in any performance, any era performance wise. And I completely agree. It's fantastic. Love this match. It's probably my second favorite match of all time. Number one being Brett and Austin from WrestleMania 13, but this one's probably number two.
Well, and not just talking about being the standard for which I Quit matches should be. Again, like you mentioned, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, that's another thing is one of the, you know, those matches where it just, they get in, they do it, and
that's a nice looking robe on Tully.
oh yeah.
Of course, accompanied by Baby Doll, Perfect
Yep.
10. Babyface in the ring. First off, Magnum looking as intense as ever. Ted, I was thinking what I might do for this match, instead of us just just putting the picture up, I might show some clips from the video that I did. So it's all slides, but at least people get an idea of what's happening here.
Right. Yeah.
Just give a second for the announcement. Man, Magnum was such a stud. It was just, if you're new to this channel and you haven't checked it out yet, check out the what if that myself and Ted did on Magnum TA. What a great conversation we had on that episode, Ted.
Yes, we went down a lot of rabbit holes.
Yeah.
I also like the simplicity of some of the old steel cages. I mean, it's just as,
yes.
You know, this is just chain link fence that you could probably get at Home Depot or Lowe's.
Yeah, I agree. You're right, Slide Counter. Both very high level wrestlers can work with anyone as well. Completely agree. Tully's one of my favorite heels of all time. He just loves being a heel. There we go. We got the lights up. All right, let me put this video on so we can. It won't be completely in sync with the match, but it'll give people a bit of an idea what's going on. This is from the must-see matches series that this video was put out, but
yeah, I mean, they just go at it, and
no waste of time, no wasted movement. I love this. Just rolling around the mat because they just want to tear each other apart, right?
Yeah. And he's already hit Magnum in the forehead. Are we going to see some blood?
Not yet. Not yet.
No.
Which, could you imagine now if we didn't have all that blood earlier, what this would have been like?
Yeah.
Tully on the offense here with a vicious uppercut. I'm going to pause this right at the moment here. Just a exchange of punches back and some stiff punches. Tully's such a great seller. Oh, there you go. Right down to the knee. I love that.
And he's got him in between the rope and the cage.
Stumbles into the cage. Yep. Now here we go. This is where we're at. So yeah, Magnum trying to rake Tully in the cage. Baby Doll's reaction is great here. Oh, that's just great. Just she was an important part of this match as well.
Yeah.
And Tully comes down with that big elbow. Even that, just simply just climbing up, walking up the ropes and delivering that elbow, right?
Yeah. Oh, he's starting to bleed.
Here we go. Here we go. Into the cage. Oh. And all right, so I'm going to pause my video here, but watch this. Smart move by Tully. Let's show the cut. Let's show him bleeding, right?
Yeah.
Question from Slide Counter. Did you guys? Here, I'm just going to read this out because it's getting blocked here. Did you guys ever hear any stories of Vince trying to get Magnum to go to WWF at the time?
I'm trying to think because I know when we did the What If episode, we talked about it. There may have been a rumor that might have been one that he would, when he was at this stage raiding the territories, that might have been one that he might have went after.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it was a confirmed rumor or just something that I made up. I don't know.
Yeah. I've watched shoot interviews with Magnum. I've never heard tell of him actually approach him, but it was going to be on his radar if it wasn't for the accident, right?
Oh, yeah.
Again, just trying to keep pace with this match with the clips from the video, but oh yeah, viciously goes into the cage. Just very simple. Pull the tights, drive him into the cage.
And I love that we've got the microphone with the cord on it that they have to speak into.
I love Tully's so vicious. He's vicious. Earl blowing into the mic, making sure it works. Not a wrestling move to be had, just a fight,
Yeah.
Here we go. We got Tully going into the cage. This is where he blades too. He gets the arm.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you see the blood on the arm. The cage. Not too often you see a blade job on the arm.
No.
But it was different. It was good way to sell that. Magnum showing his vicious side by clawing at that arm.
Yeah. But if you think about it, in a real fight, in a chain link fence, it would stand to reason that somebody would cut their arm and it would be bleeding.
Yep. There we go. Magnum now got the microphone. This is kind of an awkward angle.
Yeah.
And I like too, they're already showing exhaustion, not from, not being in shape. It's just because they've just been beating the living hell out of each other.
Right.
Now we're going to exchange punches. Magnum punching the arm, which again, going after that wound, right?
Yeah.
You can hear Baby Doll in the background screaming. And again, they're just struggling against each other, which is great. A little there you go. Magnum's starting to really drip blood now. Oh. Tully's arm's a mess. Vicious kick.
And get the microphone involved.
Yeah. Tully on the mic was great too. Hit him with the microphone. Say it. That's vicious. Even Baby Doll seems a bit shocked by the level of brutality coming from Tully.
And I like where Tully goes for the pin.
Yeah, forgets.
It's like he forgets, you know, and again, you would in a real situation like that, you probably would. You know, just go to your instinct. So I'm going for the 3 count.
He's exhausted. He tries to lift him up into the cage. He can barely get him there. He's going to go back up. He's got that stagger to him, you know? Like he's just worn out and staggering from the beating, which is great. Oh. Drops the hammer down. Baby Doll's happy. Love the first elbow he delivered.
Yeah.
There was like zero space in between that elbow. There we go. Again, Tully going down to the knee. Magnum on the offense. I love that Tully just like screams it.
So I've got, I know I got after Taylor about watching this match. And then the other one that I've told him he has to watch is, to me, another one of the great cage matches is the last Battle of Atlanta, Tommy Rich and Buzz Sawyer.
Yes. And you can find it now on WWE's YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Going back and forth here with punches. Love it. One more time with the microphone for Magnum. Sorry, my video is my clips are offline with I messed up the order, but
Well,
at least people are getting to see a little bit. There we go. Back online. Here we go. So now this is what I love too. Yeah, it's the punches in the corner, but it's not 10 slow punches. He's just pounding away on his forehead, and then Tully counters it as soon as he can, right?
Yep.
Smart move. Here we go with the microphone again. I love that he hits him with it first. There's that elbow. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. And we're coming up to a key point here. Tully, sheer frustration, just fires Earl Hebner across the ring.
Yeah.
Cue Baby Doll.
Oh, and here's the wooden chair.
Can we give Baby Doll some credit here for that chuck of the chair, by the way?
Yeah.
And this, I love this, Ted. He doesn't use the chair. He breaks the chair to get a weapon out of it. A spike. One of my favorite Bob Caudle calls. He made a spike out of it.
Yeah.
And look at how close this is to the eye. Listen to the crowd.
Oh yeah, they're getting into it. And just
He's going to lose an eye. He's going to Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, yeah.
Magnum with the knee, but he still doesn't get out of it. I love how he dives onto the piece of wood too, so Baby Doll doesn't get it. Oh. Tully Blanchard at the same time. This is great.
But let's just be clear. He didn't say I quit.
That's right. He did not say I quit. He said yes. You're new United States champ. My favorite part of the match right here.
Yeah.
Magnum TA, new U.S. champion. He has one last chance to just drive that spike into Tully's head. And he says, you're not good. You're not going to get that out of me. You're not worth it.
Not worth it. Yeah.
I absolutely love it. I said in my video, Shakespeare couldn't have wrote it better, but
yeah.
Beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful. That's why I love wrestling, Ted. Right there.
Yeah. And then I love that Tully used that in promos after that to continue the feud, all that. And to this day, if you ask Tully in an interview, he will still tell you, I did not quit.
Yeah. God, that was beautiful. That is, if you watch that and don't become a wrestling fan after that. I've got a long ad here. I'm in 90-second ad. Are you?
Yeah.
All right. Whew. What a match. So Magnum TA with the win in the steel cage I quit match against Tully Blanchard, using the spike against him, getting Tully to say yes, but not actually saying I quit. And then after the match is over and the heat of the battle has settled, he decides not to go off his moral path, drops the piece of wood, and leaves Tully to wallow in his own blood.
And again, they did it all in 15 minutes.
15 minutes. Yeah, that's all they needed. And that's all that was needed for that match. 14 minutes and 43 seconds altogether. Poetry. It's no coincidence that two of my favorite matches are I quit matches and submit matches. And there's a storyline in the match with the Breton and Austin. There's the double turn. You have an announcer in JR who just absolutely does a masterful job of doing it. And in this match, you had, just the storyline about the moral compass, the hatred between the two. And then, you had Bob Caudle and Tony Schiavone did a great job in that match too.
Now we got a mixed tag match, sort of.
So we went from just the absolute artwork of wrestling and that beautiful match to the Midnight Express against against the Boogie Woogie Man, Jimmy Valiant, and Miss Atlanta Lively. And Ted, can you tell the audience at home who Miss Atlanta Lively was?
Ronnie Garvin.
Future World Heavyweight Champion, Ronnie Garvin.
Yes.
Now this is an Atlanta street fight. So I'm not sure why the Midnights came out in the tuxedos, but whatever, it worked. It worked. And of course, Jimmy and Ronnie are escorted by Big Mama.
Yeah.
That was Jimmy's real life wife, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah. You know, of all people, I would not have expected Ronnie Garvin to do this angle.
No. And then he revives it later on against Ric Flair.
Yeah.
When he attacks Flair. So, yeah. And then in '86, you'll hear Ronnie Garvin cut a lot of promos. He's Canadian, and he talks about how much he loves America.
Yeah. With that French accent. So, Ted, is it safe to say this is your favorite version of the Midnight Express?
Oh yeah, I'm a Condry guy.
Yeah, I am too, and I've become a Condry guy over the last few years. I was a Stan Lane guy because that's who I got to see live. But going back and watching Dennis's stuff, he's just so good.
Yeah.
Again, talking about somebody who's put some stink on his work, you know what I mean? Does things with authority. That's Dennis, right?
Oh yeah, he was just again believable. You know, you just one of those guys. You know, back in the day that you thought, okay, if I'm going to be in a bar fight, you know, hey, put him with me. He just looks like he's going to hurt you.
Even in a white tuxedo with a pink cummerbund. Oh, we got the powder right off the get-go. And of course, Bobby, one of the best of all time.
Oh, yeah. Now, if you'll pay attention to this match, you know, Boogie Woogie Man was not known for taking many bumps.
No, he was not. He could sell standing up, as they say.
Yeah. Okay, I got a what? Well, do we got a comment there?
It's a random comment from Jen. Between the guinea pigs and dog and the cat burning a telepathic fetus hole in my head, I'm trying to look up the highlights of this show so I can keep up. Sort of. LOL.
Okay.
That's the zoo that we have. Oh, Dennis is busted open already.
Yeah.
Lots of pockets to hide that blade.
Yeah, especially in a tuxedo. So I've got a what if for you.
Okay.
What if instead of putting Ronnie Garvin in drag, which I know that was the funny part, what if they would have found a female type bodybuilder that looks like she could handle herself against a man, and we got a China before China?
Uh-huh. I think Big Mama could have handled these guys.
Well, yeah, she probably did.
Yeah, I mean, that would have been interesting for sure. I don't think they were too big on the intergender stuff, though, back then, were they?
No, they weren't. I was just thinking about that, but it was okay. I did not pay attention to this before. Look how big those heels are. Now you can ask your wife, but is Ronnie Garvin not an athlete for being able to even walk in there and walk around the ring with those heels?
Jen, do you want to weigh in on that if you're watching this right now? Is it easy to wrestle in heels? I guess is the question. Man, I feel for the Midnights in this. I mean, this is Starrcade, and this is the mess that they're in right now, right?
Yeah.
But who else were they feuding with at this time? I guess the Rock and Rolls.
Oh, some more powder.
Dennis just threw the bag of powder. I'm like almost in disgust. You know, like, sell, you son of a.
Oh, see, Bobby's got brass knucks. Mm-hmm. And he hits a woman in the stomach with brass knucks.
Yeah, oh, we got a busted open Jimmy.
Yep. More powder.
Oh, the belts. All right, so Jen's response, Ted. I can't do heels like that. Nope, not easy. He's a trooper. All right, so there you have it.
Okay.
Ronnie is an uber athlete for wrestling in those heels.
Oh, the fans come down.
Uh-oh, we are getting X-rated here. God, I'm surprised he didn't twist an ankle in those things.
Yeah.
Oh, they turned the lights down because they're worried about that whole X-rated thing. This is just a mess.
Yeah. And I understand they're trying to do it for entertainment value, but I think I would have just preferred to see a straight up tag match between the Midnight Express and Jimmy Valiant and Ronnie Garvin.
Or how about the Midnight Express against, well, no, you couldn't have had them against the Andersons, I guess. No. There's Jimmy's famous cell. Oh, Cornette with the vicious shot by Cornette with the racket. I hope that wasn't a loaded one that he uses against the fans. Oh, there you go. Bobby coming down. It's just comical to hear them calling it and calling Garvin Miss Atlanta Lively. Oh, hot take from Jen here. Can't stand Jimmy. He's an overactor. Woo, there we go. Shots are fired against the Boogie Woogie Man, who is doing his spastic convulsing on the outside.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's tough to wrestle in heels, but come on, it's tough to wrestle in cummerbunds too.
Yeah.
Oh, man. The Boogie took a bump. Do we have a bump counter for the Boogie Woogie Man?
Yeah.
Oh, Alabama Jam time?
I think so.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
That's it. It's over. Wow. So Miss Atlanta Lively catches Bobby Eaton coming off the top rope, hits with a hands of stone uppercut, and now they are stripping Jim Cornette of his pants.
I think he's going to get a whooping.
And he's got the comical oversized boxer shorts with red hearts on them.
Yep.
Big Mama going to get a shot in here? Nope.
We're going to save him. The last
Bad guys get away. But yeah, so it was Ronnie Garvin with the massive uppercut on Bobby Eaton and then gets the 3 count. And Ronnie Garvin is gushing as well. God. How many blood transfusions did they need tonight? Well, that was something.
Yeah, it was something. I mean, wrestling in high heels. And I think that sweater looks like it could be a little cumbersome, too.
Yeah. Be warm. That's for sure. Yeah, interesting ending here. This the uppercut. Of course, Bobby sells it like you got hit by a freight train.
But even for Garvin to get that much distance in those heels to get over there.
Yeah. Looks like Aubrey Edwards in this ad. If you haven't already, if you're tuning in and you haven't already subscribed to the channel, make sure you do. Hit that like button as well. Let us know feedback on this episode, this live stream. It's the first live stream in the history of wrestling with the 80s. So hopefully you're enjoying the banter back and forth. I wish we could show the video itself, but hopefully you're getting an idea of what's going on from our conversation between myself and Ted. But yeah, head on over, hit the like and subscribe button. And don't forget, after the stream is over, head on over to Ted's channel, Ted's Takes on Wrestling, and subscribe to that channel as well for some great takes on wrestling. All right, so our next match that's going to be coming up to show, again, fantastic booking. We're going back-to-back tag team matches. But first, we have an interview with Magnum TA backstage.
And the 10 pounds of silver.
Yeah.
So Jimmy Valiant still goes to the conventions.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple years ago, I saw him one, and he has a little book, like maybe 25, 30 pages on how to become a professional wrestler. So I bought it. Talks about, maintaining your exercise and eating right and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
Selling, taking bumps. Bumps are for losers. He was taking different kinds of bumps than what the wrestlers take.
Right.
All right. So as I mentioned, back-to-back tag team matches, and our second steel cage match of the night, if I remember correctly. Yeah, another steel cage match. So Dusty with some interesting booking here.
Ivan and Nikita.
Yeah, the Russians. What a beast Nikita was back then, man. I know steroids bad, but steroids worked well for him. He was a lot different when he came back a little lighter.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't from Russia then when he come back. He was from Lithuania or somewhere like that.
Yeah, he really suffered from the Cold War at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tag Team Championship, NWA World Tag Team Championship, or should I say the World's Tag Team Championship.
Yeah.
Steel cage match. It's Ivan Nikita Koloff, seconded by Crusher Khrushchev, who just won the Mid-Atlantic Championship against the Rock and Roll Express.
With, in their corner, one of Taylor's favorite wrestlers,
Dan Kernodle.
Shout out to Taylor, Jaded Wrestling. Check him out. Did you see his Killer Cross promo short he put up?
That did fantastic. Yeah.
He got him over 100K. He was doing good on that.
Yeah, viral. Yeah, head on over to Taylor's channel. Yeah, we will give a shout out to Taylor at Jaded Wrestling. Ted is doing a lot of good work over there with Taylor as they're doing reviews of old AEW shows. That's weekly too, is it, Ted?
Yeah, sort of. We've tried. We're a little behind, but we done the first few pay-per-view, and now we're getting ready to start the first ever Dynamite here in the next week or two, and we're going to just go through some of the stuff and see how, after 6 years the company has changed, and what's changed, what's done better, what's done worse, that type of stuff, because we figured they got enough content now that you can go back and give some healthy critiques. Yeah.
No, I'm really enjoying the episodes. I mean, obviously, I don't watch a lot of AEW, but I'm familiar and know what's going on. But I like both your takes on it. You're very fair minded with it, and you're calling the good and the bad, which is great.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just like this, I love the NWA and I love this, but there's like I said, I'll call the bad on this, and that last match was not good.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, it's kind of similar to what we're seeing with, I would argue, with WWE right now. You're getting kind of overloaded. Well, sorry, with AEW right now, you're getting overloaded with stuff on a pay-per-view. They're putting on some great stuff, but it's just like they're jamming everything at you when they could just pull back a bit and have a quality card.
Right. Well, and that's one of my complaints is they're too long. Some of the matches are too long. And I think Tony Khan wants to put everybody that he can on the pay-per-view, but to me, even though we've got monthly pay-per-views now, and I hated when they went to that model, I like a pay-per-view to be spaced out, but that's for another day. But to me, still, it's a special event, and not everybody's going to get on there. You got to earn it. But
Ted, can you maybe for the viewers talk about the Rock and Roll Express at this point in time and just how over the Rock and Roll Express were?
Oh my goodness, time. They were over as baby faces. Ricky Morton, they don't come any better at selling, and the way he would do, especially the young girls, the tweens? What do they call them? The 10, 11, 12, those early teenagers, they loved
the teeny boppers, as they would call them. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they were just so popular. And I know they had, I guess it would be next year in '86, they had a contest where they did the rock and roll tour thing while they were touring around some of the places. And some people actually won the contest and got to go on a bus with them to different places. And of course, because they were so over, Ricky Morton thought he could sing, and they did some concerts with some bands and stuff. And, Tony Schiavone has said if they'd had a merch department back then and could have sold T-shirts and those bandanas that they have on there, he said they would have made a killing in that, but they didn't have the merch, And we will hear that a lot in the next couple of years on why so many people did go to WWF was the action figures and the merch money they made.
Yeah. That was a slick move by Ricky there to block going into the cage, just put the foot up against the cage. That was good.
And I'll tell you again, like I said, how over they were, there was talk about it, how Crockett would run two teams in two different towns, and you'd have Dusty and Flair headlining one town and the Rock and Roll and Midnight headlining another, and the Rock and Roll and Midnight were outselling Dusty and Flair.
Yeah.
And that's why we got the conspiracy theory of the supposed Ricky Morton singles run for a while there to break it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, they were over.
And I'll step in here and say too, like, as somebody who wasn't watching in the 80s and didn't understand, and thank you, Ted, for that discussion on just why the Rock and Roll Express were so over and how over they were, because it was insane the level of over they were. But somebody who, a new young fan who would just go watch us and say, oh, all you old guys, you complain about the guys today. They don't look like wrestlers. They're not big and they're not jacked and stuff like that. And look at the Rock and Roll Express. They're not big and jacked. But the difference being, I find, for me with today's wrestlers, you got guys that look the size of Ricky Morton that wrestle like they're Hercules Hernandez, and
right.
they're beating the crap out of a guy the size of Omos or something like that.
Yeah,
that's not how the Rock and Roll Express wrestled. They wrestled with speed, quickness, double team moves, fast tags, fast pace, scooting under the legs of the heels, rolling them up, just getting them confused. I'm okay with guys that size wrestling against bigger guys if that's the method they're using. And the majority of their match was spent selling. Yeah. Because that's what got the fans behind them, was the peril. But, nowadays people don't want to sell and people don't want to look weak and they don't want to look overpowered. And that's where I have the biggest issue with the modern wrestling, as far as the guys that are smaller, Yeah. And yet the opposite, the big guys try to sell like small guys when, we don't need to see Nikita Koloff doing a 10-20 splash off the top rope, right? You just need to see that sickle.
And see, we get the Rock and Roll Express, and then, you get the, all these other offshoots that were all going for the same thing, the Midnight Rockers and Fabulous Ones and some of those different ones. So
the Fantastics.
The Fantastics, yeah.
Ivan's busted up here. Now, okay, the Russians are taking over on offense. Oh, nice slick move by Robert, though. But, we got to see it. The Rock and Roll got their shine, as they say. And, oh, look at that. Woo. Stun gun into the side of the cage. Love it. So they got their shine. Now it's time for the heels to take over, get their heat. They'll now beat the living crap out of the Rock and Roll Express, and they're going to sell, and they're going to sell well. But they'll never sell dead, as they say,
Right.
And the irony is we're probably going to get a double sell here, because it's usually not Robert doing the selling. It's Ricky doing the selling.
Yeah, Ricky will do most of the selling. Robert was the hot tag that would come in.
Yeah. You can hear Khrushchev on the outside telling Uncle Ivan to toss him into the cage. And again, something that Robert and Ricky were both great at was selling with movement. They're always They're always struggling to get back to that corner. That's another thing, right? The heel always has to cut them off. They're always trying to get back to that corner, and that's something that we see lacking today too.
Well, that was one of the things where I really fell in love with FTR. That move that both of them do is they'll make the tag and the other one runs over and slides on his knees in front of the corner to keep them from making the tag.
Yep.
And that's just so old school, cutting them off from the tag. Cut off from the tag. because that's where the story comes in. Most of these tag matches is, you're wanting to see the babyface make the tag, and they'll almost get there, and then the heel will bring them back, and then you start the momentum again, and you just keep building it to when the hot tag does happen. The crowd just explodes.
Yep. Tag team wrestling, when done right, is a work of art, Ted.
Yes, and there's some people, Taylor from Jaded Wrestling, who me and him argue about tag team wrestling all the time. But yeah,
we had a heated debate about that with Taylor on my old podcast, Wrestling with the Truth.
Yes, we did, and me and him still this day off air in some of our conversations still argue about it. But he will admit that FTR has sold him on tag team wrestling, that he does enjoy their work too. So.
Well, and I can see Taylor's point as far as the modern stuff, because there isn't much good tag team wrestling, but it's when you watch stuff like this from the older days, you understand why it was so good, and such a good way to help get people over that couldn't be in the main event scene at the same time. And it elevated them. You had Ricky Morton believably having a feud over the Great American Bash with Ric Flair.
Yeah.
All right, so Robert avoided the leg drop, but still cannot get that tag. And of course, Nikita would shortly after, he's just getting pumped up to get ready to take on Magnum. And of course, we had one of the more memorable runs is the 86 run, where they had the best of 7 series over the United States Championship. Yep. Robert's still fighting for that tag. Doesn't stop.
And I was so glad to see Ivan Koloff finally get in the Hall of Fame in WWE.
Right.
Because that was long overdue.
Oh, God, yeah. He's a former world champion for them.
He beat Bruno.
Bruno, yeah. How can you not have that man in there? Robert's just taking a beating on this. This is so odd to see Robert being the guy that's getting.
This is a little different.
He's doing a good job. Oh, that was vicious. I get the feeling at this point Nikita didn't have a clue about how strong he was.
No.
And of course, this was a great way for Ivan to spend some time teaching Nikita how to work. There's Dan Kernodle. Dan, don't call me Don Kernodle, as per Taylor. Yeah. I wish he was in the chat. That'd be. I just watched our Talking the Territories episode not that long ago. That was a fun conversation.
Ref bump.
Ooh. All right. Is that Earl, by the way, as ref? Yeah. Look at the fans. They're just dying for the rock and rolls to come back here. There's the tag. Ref saw it. Oh.
And that's
what did you think of that move by Ricky?
That was a good one.
But did you catch what happened after he got the pin?
Yeah.
Head and bladed all match. He gets the win and gets kicked into the cage and does a massive blade job on himself. Oh, wow. Nikita just tosses him over the top of the cage with ease. Now they're just going to look at that. 3-on-1 on Robert. By the way, the Rock and Roll Express have won the World's Tag Team Championship. They are the new tag team champions.
Yeah, I will say I'm surprised that Robert done most of the selling this match.
Could Ricky have been injured or something?
I don't know.
Robert's just getting beat down. Look at this. Oh. Gernodle's bleeding.
Yeah.
Jeez. Oh my God. Ivan just hit him in the face with the chain.
Yeah.
Wow, we're getting some heat here. Look at this. The crowd's fighting with, look at it. Look at it. Nikita's beating up a fan. I love it. Now this is old school. I love this, right? So did the Russians lose anything by losing the championship here?
No, absolutely not.
They come out looking stronger than ever. This is a pretty cool finish though. Backflip of Robert. Ricky rolls up Ivan. Gets the 3 count, gets kicked into the cage, blades while going into the cage, and hits a gusher. Wow. That was impressive. So, Ted, we got one last match to go.
Yeah. And see, again, I love all the interweaving stories of this because after the Horseman form, you've got when the Rock and Roll are the World Tag Team Champions, they'll feud with the Midnight Express. Then they'll go over and they can wrestle Arn and Ole or Arn and Tully. You've got all these different little combinations of, and then they can even wrestle the Russians again. So you've got all these little different combinations that they can, interact with. And I loved how that whole 86 scene did that,
Yeah. So just as we're waiting for the ad to finish going into the next match, as they're doing the cleanup on the Rock and Rolls and Don Gernodle, of course, we've got Dusty Rhodes versus Ric Flair for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, the 10 pounds of gold. What led to this match, of course, this is a lifelong feud between Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes, but we had the incident in the cage where it was the Anderson brothers and Ric Flair, who was babyface technically at the time.
Yep.
Rick was fighting Nikita, I believe, at the time. Got jumped by the Russians.
Nikita. Yep.
Dusty came out to save him, and this is in September that year, and Rick said, "Stay out of my business." Led to the absolute one of the better beatdowns of all time in the cage. They broke Dusty's ankle, and we got set to go with the Starrcade match because, actually, there was one more thing that happened that we can't skip over. You know what else happened prior to this?
Oh yeah, the famous promo.
Hard times.
Hard times.
A computer took your job, Daddy. So Dusty, when promoting this, probably pulled off one of his greatest promos ever, the Hard Times promo.
Yeah.
Just fantastic. If you've never watched the Hard Times promo, I don't know a wrestling fan who probably hasn't, but if you haven't, go check it out. But yeah, what a build up to this match. Now, the match itself, we'll see, does it live up to it? But yeah, it's Dusty Rhodes and Ric Flair for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, the main event of Starrcade, the granddaddy of them all. Can't help but say it like Dusty.
Now that was one where the beat down on Dusty in the cage where they broke his ankle. That's one Arn has said that he was literally scared for his life that night.
Yeah.
Because, the fans were about to riot. There were some that were actually trying to climb the cage to get in there to help Dusty. The actual police department had to surround him and Rick and Ole to get them back to the dressing room. Yeah, he said that was one time he thought that things were going to go too far.
Yeah. In fact, the baby faces that come out to help Dusty had to beat away some of the fans to help the Horsemen get out of that area. That's heat, baby. That's white heat.
Oh,
yeah. Flair and Tully, similar robes tonight.
Yeah.
Now, of course, this is the third Starrcade. Starrcade 83 was a Flair for the gold. Flair beat Harley Race for his second World Heavyweight Championship. 84, we had the main event with Dusty and Flair, and that was the one with Joe Frazier as the referee. That was the $1 Million Challenge.
Yeah.
And now we're back at it here at Starrcade 85. What was your thoughts? Was this the right main event for this event?
I mean, with the way the storyline had led up to it, I thought it was. But, when you go back and think, did it have to lead up to this at that time? But, I guess, like I said, the way the storyline was going with the broken ankle, and we're getting ready to see the Horsemen and stuff. So, at the time, thinking about the only other thing would have been, if they would have tried something different, and instead of Magnum going after the U.S. title, what would it have done if you let him go after the world title for this bout? But
yeah, you could have had Dusty go after the U.S. title. But
at this point, those are your two biggest baby faces in the singles is going to be Dusty and Magnum. So,
I'll ask, what if, so this is, at this time, 85, we're still NWA, National Wrestling Alliance, so we still have some territories funneling into the NWA. You still had Ric Flair as a traveling champion going to different territories. Could they possibly have had someone from one of the territories challenge Flair for the title?
That's a good call. They could have. If again, probably with the exposure, if they would have brought maybe on TV maybe a month or so before this, maybe even brought in, went ahead and took the gamble on a Von Erich or something like that.
That's what popped into my head, was probably Kerry.
Yeah.
I don't think you would have went with Kevin, but I'm thinking Kerry, you could have played off the whole Kerry won the title from Flair in 84, right?
Yeah.
And then you could always have Dusty fight somebody else, maybe a tag match against the Midnight Express.
Yeah. What year did Kerry have his accident?
That was in 86, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, so he still would have had both legs then.
I'll double check, but I think it was early 86, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be wrong. They could have had Lance Von Erich challenge him.
Don't know about that. Which you probably, another one you probably could have brought on up, because I think Flair had already been down at this time. He'd been down in Florida and had some great matches with Barry Windham. And, Barry was a real big baby face at that time.
Yeah.
So That might have been another one
Yeah.
that you could have got some TV exposure with and had something.
Gino Hernandez was still around that time. He could have been possibly somebody that could have came in.
Yeah.
I mean, it's heel versus heel, but Flair, I don't know.
But, again, it was one of those things where Dusty felt like that, I guess him and Flair was a money match, but as we can see, then Flair will go in and all these other ones he starts wrestling, it does shake it up a little bit when he
So
starts and stuff.
it was June of '86 when Kerry had the motorcycle accident. I thought it was '86. So
Okay.
he was still a viable option in '85. And then you wouldn't have had to have Flair drop the title, right? I mean, he ended up getting.
But let me ask you this: okay, but had in '85 had Fritz left the NWA and officially become world class with their own world title?
Yeah, that might have been the case at that point. Let's see, when did they leave the NWA?
Because I'm trying to think of it's hard. Some of the timeline gets muddled.
Yeah. No, it was '86 when they withdrew from the NWA.
Oh, okay. So,
yeah, early '86. So there might have been some contention between them at that point. That might have been why.
Yeah.
But I mean, maybe a Nick Bockwinkel, Jerry Lawler, or somebody like that. I don't know.
Lawler would have been a good. Or I think was it '84? He wrestled his first match. A young upstart babyface from Memphis and Double J.
Maybe Superstar Bill Dundee. Well, and conspicuous by their absence at this event is obviously the Road Warriors, as they're in the AWA at this time as well.
Yeah, yeah.
But to your point, like this Dust angle, yes, he was the second biggest babyface because he was the booker at this time. But obviously Flair didn't want to give up the title to Dusty, and then Flair would go on to have one of the greatest years ever in '86 with his defenses and just he made everybody a star that year.
And we're going to get, we're going to get like a Dusty type finish even with this match.
Yeah. So, of course, Dusty had the super boot at this time. That was titanium or something like that to protect his broken ankle.
Yeah, Arn used to cut some good promos on that. I love the. It's a weapon. Doctor said you don't need that boot.
Yeah, God bless Dusty. We all love Dusty, but at this point, he wasn't the guy to be in the main event.
There is a almost forgotten match. I've seen still pictures of it. I don't know if there's actual footage of it out there or not, but I would love to be able to see it. We talk about Bret Hart having the ladder matches in Canada and talk about Shawn and Razor, but there's a forgotten ladder match that Dusty and Tully Blanchard had that was a barbed wire ladder match.
Yeah.
Somewhere in this early to mid '80s period after when Tully and Dusty were feuding there. And I would love to see that because, Dusty trying to go up a barbed wire ladder. I think that would have been fun. about like that second match. I never expected Abdullah to climb the pole and get the sombrero. I just did not think he was going to
Yeah. So after everything that we've had, the wildness of this night, this is more of a slow moving match. We got Dusty really working over Flair's leg and ankle, trying to get some revenge on Flair for, of course, breaking his ankle. Flair's targeting Dusty's ankle as well. So just a lot of slow pace here. Let's put it that way. You know, it's very similar to WrestleMania 7. I mean, you had the legends, you know, you had Andre and Hogan go at it, and that was a match everybody wanted to see. You know, Flair and Dusty, everybody wants to see that. But the match stole the show at WrestleMania 7 was Steamboat Savage for the IC title. And the match that steals the show here is the US title match with Tully and Magnum.
Can't get him up for the suplex.
Dusty did.
There he goes. Dusty gets it.
Big Dust.
Now that's another thing. If you're anybody that's watching this or watches this in the future, again, I tell everybody, go back to 1986 and find the WCW 605. Yes, the matches are all pretty much enhancement talent, but just watch it for all the promos back and forth all night long. Because sometimes the Horseman would come out there 2 or 3 times, and Dusty would come out twice, and it was like him and Flair were trying to get back out there to get the last word.
Yeah, it was. 14 different Dusty interviews, and everybody had to mention Dusty as well. Every baby face, every heel had to mention Dusty. But yeah, that was the best part about the 605 was, it was enhancement matches, but it was exciting the whole time. It was just fast paced and exciting, and interviews and some of the best promo guys in the history of wrestling doing their interviews. I mean, you'd have Arn out there 2 or 3 times, Flair out there 4 or 5, Dusty would be out there, Tully. Oh, it was just great. We got a comment from Jen for the size and weight of some of those guys. They're surprisingly agile.
Yes.
I'll agree with that. Good call. I believe it's pronounced agile in Italy, isn't it?
What was it? Jim Ross used to say, was it an agile or a big man that could move? He could make some money. Something like that. I'm not quoting the word for word, but basically that was it.
Dusty with the bionic elbow on the ankle of Flair. So payback time. Well, I will give them credit, though. They did build to this main event with the whole angle, with the broken ankle and the Horsemen and Dusty and Flair and everything. So they did have a good storyline, which begs the question for the following year, Starrcade 86, what were they building to? Because we talked about in the what if. What were they working towards Magnum for that main event, or were they going to hold off until 87? But there wasn't a clear idea of who was going to challenge Flair at Starrcade 86.
Well, and see the thing, even like during that Great American Bash tour, as amazing as it was with Flair, all the competitors, because some of those matches were still a heel versus heel where he had Nikita in that mix.
Yep. I mean, it ended up being Nikita, but only, by default because of the whole situation with Magnum, which would lead you to believe that maybe, you know, I mean, we've heard both arguments that, yeah, it was going to be Magnum and Nikita one more time for the U.S. title, and it's going to be either Dusty or Ronnie Garvin. If they couldn't, there's no way they could have went with Dusty for the third year in a row in the main event of Starrcade. So that leaves Ronnie Garvin, and I just don't feel like that was going to be the opponent for Flair.
Yeah.
So to me, it made more sense to have it be Magnum and then Dusty fights Nikita for the U.S. title. And they just slotted Nikita into that spot. Although I still, to this day, argue that they should have put Barry Windham in that spot. Kept Nikita heel.
Yeah, especially when Barry first came in, you know, and still had all that momentum as a face behind him. There should have been something more with him there. He goes over the top turnbuckle.
Yeah. I don't know about you, Ted, but this one's been a slow one, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Compared, especially what we've been fed all night. Like, it's just been craziness all night.
Well, and it also shows the difference in some of these legendary opponents because, you know, usually when you talk to Flair, he'll mention the rivalry of Dusty, but he still always talks about his matches. You know, the best ones were with him and Steamboat because the Steamboat, they're moving. You know, Steamboat's moving. They're moving. They're moving the whole match.
You know, and one of the things that people forget, you know, it was in 85. So this is the same year, 85. We're now in November of 85, but it was early 85, just prior to WrestleMania 1, where Ricky Steamboat left JCP and went to the WWF because of differences with Dusty. And you know, you wonder, what could we have had in 85 with Steamboat around? Do we get that series with Flair and Steamboat then?
Yeah. Now, the one thing I want to mention there that just happened, the referee was sort of over in the corner and had his back turned, and we get Flair throwing Dusty over the top rope.
Yeah.
And back in the day, if you threw your opponent over the top rope, you got disqualified.
That's right. So they had to come up with creative ways to be able to do that.
Yeah.
We just got a Flair flop after Dusty mounted them in the corner with the punches in the corner. Dusty doing his flip flop and fly. But again, there's not a lot of speed to this stuff.
No. Flair's going to go over again, go to the second one, and the crossbody. No. Gets cut off in the middle there.
Dusty with a kick on the turnbuckle. He missed Flair and now has re-aggravated his injury to his ankle. Have you ever I know you've listened to a lot of Flair's podcasts and stuff like that. Have you ever heard Flair talk about this main event and his thoughts on it?
Not that I can remember.
I get the feeling that they're working together, but reluctantly.
Yeah.
By the way, 85 was probably the year that Flair was in the best shape of his career. Big knee drop on that ankle.
I do love his knee drop, though. It looks so good.
Yeah.
Especially on the head.
Him and Triple H, two of the best knee drops. Because, of course, Triple H was copying Flair.
Yeah.
Here we go. Figure 4 from Flair and Dusty.
I forget the wrestler that I heard on, I think it was Chris Van Vliet. I don't even remember who it was, but they were asking them one of the more painful moves in today's, because it was a current wrestler. I can't even remember who it was.
Yeah.
And they said that actually Charlotte's figure 8, that when she cinches that in, that it really does hurt.
I can get that, yeah. If you're not flexible when she does the bridge up, that's going to hurt.
Yeah.
Dusty just flipped the bird and now is doing a reversal of the figure 4.
Yeah.
And now he's got it. Because everybody knows if you reverse the figure 4, then of course
it hurts the other person. Yes.
Ooh, some big chops from Flair. Dusty no selling. Here we go. The big elbows from Dusty.
So say what you want about Flair, but what other wrestler has 2 moves in today's wrestling that if you do a chop or go for a figure 4, everybody yells woo?
Yeah. So Dusty just kick out by Flair. Dusty goes on top of Tommy Young. And now this is the second time tonight we have a double ref bump.
Yeah.
The first bump didn't do the job, so they had to do a second one.
Yeah.
Luckily, it's not
a little bit.
Wasn't Sonny Fargo this time. It's Tommy Young.
Yeah.
There it is. Another. There seems to be a lot of. I don't know if it's miscommunication or what. But anyways, Dusty's now got the figure 4 and Flair, but Tommy Young, of course, is on the outside. Here comes Arn. Look at that sell of the kick. Here comes The Rock. Not Dwayne Johnson.
No, we're not talking about Dwayne Johnson. We're talking about the original Rock.
Referee.
Has a weak kick out. Kick out.
Oh, roll up by Dusty. We got a new champion. New World Heavyweight Champion on a inside cradle by Dusty. A one-armed inside cradle. The babyface locker room storms the ring to celebrate.
Yep. We got Superstar Bill Graham and Manny Fernandez.
There's your boy, Shaska.
Shaska and his Pez. Is that
the Italian Stallion?
Stallion, yes, the Stallion, baby.
How Billy Jack Haynes and his Fonzie jacket. How did Manny and Bill and Superstar get cleaned up from that bloodbath is my question.
So they give the crowd the finish they want, but then is it because of the ref bump? How is it they explain it? Because they stripped Dusty of the belt.
Yeah. So
and what was it? Because of the ref or the disqualification? I forget what the cause was.
Yeah. So basically, what it was is they reversed the Dusty victory was reversed by Tommy Young. They changed it due to the interference from Arn Anderson.
Yeah, that was it.
That's pretty weak, to be quite honest.
Yeah, but that's the way it went back then. A lot of times, you had a lot of countouts, DQs, or something like this. You let the live crowd think that they've went home happy, and then by the time the next week's TV comes, they've switched it all around.
Well, that's one of many of the Dusty finishes, that we're so used to hearing about, right?
Yeah, because Dusty's already won it twice.
Yeah.
And then the following year in '86, he'll win it during the Great American Bash, but then about 2 weeks later, he'll lose it right back. And that'll be his final run.
Yeah. Yeah. So Dusty never really had a long run as the world champion.
No.
So I believe we're just going through an final ad here, but I think we're going to have a couple interviews from the back there. I know.
Okay. So if we're just going by world championship legacies and not all the intangibles, just world championship legacies, technically, could we say that Cody will end up having a better career than Dusty?
Well, yeah, you as far as the world championship, yeah, you could argue that.
Okay, well, like I said, not the intangibles, not the other stuff. I'm just talking about championships now. That's all I'm talking
about. Not the impact on the business, yeah.
No. Because really, probably with Cody's 2 runs already, he's probably number of days, if you looked it up, maybe have already held it more than Dusty's 3 times as far as number of days.
I think in his first run, he probably eclipsed that, to be quite honest. Yeah. And don't forget, also, Dusty won the title under a mask, too.
And they had to give it back.
Yeah.
Because you gotta, you had to give your real name for HR and legal purposes.
Exactly. And you know what? We started this broadcast talking about Bob Caudle, and we're going to finish it with Bob Caudle. Yeah. Nothing, fitting, as we say. Rest in peace, Mr. Caudle.
And they're just smiling. They're happy. The baby face, he won. He took the belt off of old Flair. And
champagne bath.
But again, like I said, by next week's episode, wherever they air it, the title will be right back off of it.
Tony needs to go back to the mustache. Get rid of the beard. Just go with the mustache.
So. Yeah, I think so too. Yep. Another Starrcade in the book.
Yeah. Now they're just Tony with the sign off saying we'll see you at Starrcade 86. So forget next week.
Right. We'll see you a year from now.
All right, so we're finishing off with the highlight package. Well, I'm going to stop my broadcast of it there now. But whoa, that's that Sam Houston bump there. But yeah, so there you go, Starrcade 85, 40 years later is in the books. Ted, what's your overall thoughts on the card?
Well, like I said, now that I went, because it'd been a long time since I've watched the whole thing, and I guess I'm just, there were some good matches, but I was surprised that the format of it, the way the matches went in order, and again, I guess in my mind, I'd forgot that everybody bled.
Yeah.
That much. So that was a little bit different because, like I said, in the past, there did seem to be a little bit of a build-up, but this one, they just, by putting the Mexican death match on second, it was like, oh, everybody's going to bleed after that. So,
Yeah, it was, there will be blood, as I've said, but yeah, interesting formatting, having 2 steel cage matches, having back-to-back matches between the same people twice in a row, with the Bass and Black Bart, and then Bass and JJ, and then the arm wrestling match between Billy Graham and the Barbarian, and then the match between Billy Graham, and then back-to-back tag team matches. I mean, Vince McMahon be pulling his hair out at the formatting of that whole thing.
And then, like you said there, then you get multiple matches with all the ref bumps, So that was another thing. So, I enjoyed it, but like I said, there are some little things, if I want to be nitpicky, that I could definitely say, yeah, now that I went back and watched it, that I probably wouldn't have done it that way. But
and I will say this: there were some ups and downs with it, but the I Quit match, that made it for me for the whole event. And then I was a big fan of the Buddy Landell Terry Taylor match as well.
Yep. And of course, I enjoyed the Arn and Ole, and even the Russians and the Rock and Roll. Even though it was in a cage, still, I thought they did a good job with, even though it was Robert this time, just the peril that he seemed to be in because he could never get that tag. So I thought they did a good job with that.
That was weird seeing Robert doing the selling.
But definitely, one of those where I didn't have to see Ronnie Garvin in drag. I didn't have to see that, and the poor Midnight Express, because like I said, they're so great in the ring, and to see them have to, I know they want to do a little bit of entertainment, but still, I thought, let's change that up a little bit.
Yeah. Well, Ted, I appreciate you joining me for this live stream. Like I said, it's the first one that we've done on this channel. I couldn't think of a better partner to have join me for some classic Crockett wrestling in the 80s. Maybe we'll have to get you back again for next November for Starrcade 86, the Night of the Skywalkers, I believe was the call on that one.
Yeah, now that, again, the build-up, the promos, the vignettes, but the actual scaffold match itself is not too much.
No. Well, scaffold matches normally are not, so it's and this seems to be kind of the pattern with the NWA, is they seem like they're everything they do before the big event is gold, like the Great American Bash, the 605 stuff. all the TV that they do, the live events. And then it always seems like Starrcade turns out to be a bit of a disappointment. And I think it's overbooking. It's just bad luck, with the whole situation with 86. 87 when they did the whole merger with UWF, that really just did not go over well. 88 was okay. 89 and 90, you got the Ironman tournaments and stuff like that. It's for some reason right up through 97. I mean, Starrcade seemed to always be cursed as far as their big show.
Yeah, and like I said, the build up is always good, but then after you get there, and I think again, you have the first one, and you're like, okay, we've got something special here, but then WWF has their WrestleMania, and I do think, like you said, it was like Dusty wanted to he just thought too hard about it and did overbook it to trying to make it more than what it ended up should have been, instead of just keeping it simple.
Yeah. So it's I don't know. It's interesting how it goes, but in the end, it's great old school wrestling. If you decide, when you're watching this stuff, to watch the build up to these events, that's the best part.
Oh yeah.
I mean, the build up to the Flair Dusty match was phenomenal. We got the birth of the Four Horsemen thanks to this whole build. And then if you're a fan that's watching this, I don't care when you're watching this, if you watch it live, if you're watching it later on, if you want to get some real enjoyment, start watching World Championship Wrestling on the 605 straight from the day after Starrcade 85 and watch straight through 86. It's just, we've both talked about it. 86 is probably both our favorite year in wrestling.
Yeah.
And both with the NWA, with the WWF, I'll even throw AWA in there. I mean, you had some great stuff in the AWA in 86. You had the Midnight Rockers and Playboy Buddy Rose and Doug Summers feud. I mean, so
that was good.
That was great stuff. So so 86, such a fun year. And, it's hard to believe we're coming to the close of 2025 now. So I'll probably be going into 26 as we're 40 years out from 86. I'll probably be focusing a lot on 1986. So I'm sure I'll have you back to talk on some episodes for that stuff. But I'm going to let you get going, Tig, because I know that you've sacrificed a lot of time leading into the Thanksgiving holiday. But just before we go, do you want to once again tell people where they can find you and how they can subscribe and join Ted's Takes on Wrestling?
Yeah, Ted's Takes on Wrestling. I don't have any socials. This is all I do. So go on over, subscribe, hit the notification, all that kind of stuff. And like I said, a lot of shorts and then some other videos on some stuff, just random stuff. And, there's no rhyme or reason. It's basically just whatever I'm in the mood for. I did find out, thanks to YouTube, that I use too many live clips, so we will not be monetized. So since we're not trying to be monetized, we're just going to have fun. Go on over there and check that out. I will say, if you want to hit some shorts up, like I said, we got a lot of great shorts. You can go under them. I do have playlists, so I do have stuff sort of categorized. I've got old school AEW, WWE, stuff like that. So you can find some of that. And, we just thank everybody. We are this close to 1 million views, so 2.5 years. So we're at 970,000. So, all we need is a couple of shorts to go pretty good, and we can get there.
That's really impressive, to be honest with you. 1 million views in a short time span like that. That's so impressive. So couldn't happen to a nicer guy. And hey, there's lots of ways to make money on YouTube. You don't have to be monetized to just got to sell some, get the followers, sell some t-shirts, all that good stuff. Right.
Yeah. Right.
Anyways, we got one last comment. It's from the lovely Jen saying, great commentary, gentlemen. I've learned a lot. I've learned a few more things about wrestling through your conversation, even though I couldn't see a darn thing. LOL. Good night.
Okay.
We're just trying to bring people back to the age of radio. You know, that's all we're trying to do. Next time we'll have sound effects and stuff.
Well, like I said, it's NASCAR on the radio. That's it. You know, if you can, back in the day, me and some of my friends would be somewhere on Sunday and couldn't get to a TV, and we were listening to NASCAR on the radio. You know, you just had to play it over in your head, and that was it.
Exactly. So, anyways, folks, and Ted, thank you very much. You have yourself a fantastic Thanksgiving celebration, and to all the American viewers and listeners here, happy Thanksgiving to you folks as well. I hope you enjoy War Games that's coming up for the WWE and all that good stuff. But I appreciate everybody that's come along, and take care, everybody, and have a great evening.